Hello and welcome to Infamous, the audio podcast. This is Brandon, or Mutilus, on the forum.
And this is Parker. Go by Dr. Mantis Toboggan, MD, when I go on forums.
This is Jeremy. Don't believe in forums. Don't believe in Wolverine. Hashtag neither are good.
Hashtag neither are good. We need to talk about your problems with Wolverine at some point, but that's not today. We'll do that some other time. Parker, you're down to 953 probation episodes.
Boom.
Yeah, I have a feeling that eventually you're going to win this bet that you had to double down on, which is that the new card pack is to allow for the cards in the box to not get rotated.
Mm-hmm.
He bet 250 probationary episodes on that, so he might break 900 for the first time in like 40 episodes.
Yep.
Also, I mean, you haven't mentioned it, but didn't he make a bet about? It was probably like a year ago or more. Like, what was it? It was faction related. It was there going to be Cabal or Shield, and what's the new one that's coming?
Hydra.
Hydra.
Definitely.
Do you remember that, Parker?
We definitely talked about this. I don't think we actually made a bet about it, though.
I don't think we made a bet, or maybe we did.
I think it was originally that they were going to do Hydra and Shield as sub factions within Avengers and Cabal,
and we were wondering whether or not it would be like a full affiliation. And I really wanted it, but I don't know.
So clearly, Pagani listened to the episode and was like, "Guys, we need to get on this. Like, they got some killer ideas over here." And they just took a year and a half to come out.
I mean, it takes a little bit. I mean,
yeah.
Look, we're the ideas guys, right?
Right.
Like,
we're just the big picture people.
Yeah.
We're not the little detail guys.
Yeah.
So
I'm 100% sure that I'm the reason why this is happening.
Yeah. I do like to, I'll say this in a minute, but let's go ahead and get into our next segment, Parker. Are you ready?
It's news. News. All right, so the dam has broke. We haven't actually gotten the official mini extravaganza stuff yet, but we have a lot of news. It is coming at us. So first off, let's talk some new models. We got a lot of new models coming to the game, coming primarily this fall. Some of them coming a little bit earlier than that, but this is what we've got. So we know some of them. Actually, we have the price tag for some and what kind of team tactics cards we're looking for. And we have some we don't have full information yet. But
point of order. Technically, everything on the list that we have today is slated as air quotes summer. So do with that what you will.
Well, one of some of them say fall because the video said fall.
The Asmodee website has them slated as, quote, summer.
Okay, so maybe that's early.
I'm just saying what's in black and white.
Okay, all right. Well, let's talk about, first of all, we got Nick Fury and the Howling Commandos coming in at $45. It's going to have 2 Team Tactics cards. The Howling Commandos looks like a grunt. We're pretty sure
that's what I thought. It's definitely a base of the 3 like commando-looking dudes from World War II. And from what we saw in the video and in the box art, it appears that it's just one base of the 3 guys.
Yeah.
And that Nick Fury Sr. is the one leading the group, kind of like Maria Hill's the one leading the SHIELD operatives.
Right.
But there's not
something that looks like Maria Hill. It's kind of hard, but
I believe they said on stream that they designed her aesthetically to be Maria Hill.
Okay, well there you go.
It has no game function, but they wanted her to look like Maria.
Okay. So is this my thing? Is this actually a grunt? Like just a box with one grunt in it? That seems odd.
Someone told me the opposite, and they said, no, it's not a grunt. But man, I don't know if you know what grunts look like, because this looks like a grunt to me.
Yeah.
I'm going 9 out of 10 here.
Yeah.
It does. I don't believe anywhere on the box says grunt.
No.
But it wouldn't, right? Like it says character stat card.
I think I would be shocked if this was a grunt character and it was an actual character in the game. I would be shocked. This is a grunt character. I don't think they put a grunt in by itself in the game. It seems really strange, but maybe.
Well, it could be very possible that there's, for example, like my theory was one of the cards in this box is going to be, the Howling Commandos, and it's a shield only tactics card, and it says pay 2, and any shield character can put the Howling Commandos into play, and they become its parent character. Like,
right. So you're not. So you're not playing Nick Fury.
It could be.
You're not playing
right, or it could be. Why?
Because it says in the rules you can't play 2 grunts at the same time. You can't play 2 grunts.
You cannot have 2 grunts in play at the same time. So you
Right.
could elect to not deploy your shield grunt
Mm-hmm.
and put these guys out instead.
Okay.
Or maybe who knows, like any number of things could happen. But if you ask me, like, there are 3 random military guys. I mean, there's the 2 guys from the Captain America movie and then Nick Fury Sr., and they look like grunts to me. Like, I would be really surprised.
Well, those aren't just guys. That's Dum Dum Dugan, and
Yeah.
I don't recognize the African American.
But they're just people, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're just soldiers.
Mhm.
I don't know. To me, I mean, I understand, like, the power level in the game is whatever, right? Like, Black Widow is 2 points and 3 points.
Yeah.
And then, like, compared to a 3-point model, like, Hulk is only a 6. Like, I get it. It's not, like, a perfect scale, and they don't design the characters to be on a set power level.
Yeah.
It's more to operate well within the game. And
Yeah.
But, like, if they just start releasing random soldiers as characters in this game, I think it's going to break the aesthetic a lot. Like, it's like, yeah, guy with gun, shoot that dude. Like, I don't know, it just doesn't. Like,
I don't know. We already have.
I think it's gonna lose its
we already have half a dozen of those guys though, man. There's Punisher, Crossbones, Viper.
Yeah, but like Punisher,
Sin.
even in the comics, is like an exception of an exception level soldier. In addition to like all the other stuff he like knows how to do.
Well, Nick Fury.
Like, I agree.
Yeah, Nick Fury. In the
regular
comics,
dude Frank Castle as a 3-pointer
Yeah.
on the scale of the game is pushing the limits, in my opinion.
Right.
Like, he's just a guy.
Well, but I mean, Nick Fury in the Marvel comics is like a cosmic assassin. Like he's the man. He's the unseen. He's the
You talking about regular Nick Fury or
Nick Fury
or
Senior.
Nick Fury Senior.
Nick Fury Senior. Like in the comic books, he is. We didn't know this, but he was the man on the wall. Like that. There's a big comic. There's a comic. I think we talked.
Yeah, I know.
So like he's not just any guy. He was the guy. He was one of Earth's biggest
So
defenders.
by that justification, then why are there 2 other guys on his base if he's such a badass?
Because it's a 1945 theme, right? All the other why does Captain America have the scaly costume? Why is Human Torch an android? It's because that's what they were in 1945. Spoiler alert: the other box is coming out. Captain America.
I'm just saying that I think that this makes the most sense to be a grunt. That's all I'm saying.
I think it'd be very strange to pay $45 for a grunt model. I think, but maybe I'm wrong.
That is at a surprising price point to me, even without. It's a single model for $45.
Yeah.
Like Nick Fury, I want to say is $40, right? So it's Nick Fury Jr. is cheaper and has more models.
Yeah.
Like that surprises me in general. Like, I think this price point seems whack.
Yeah. I don't get it. Not that I don't get why he's in the game, but what this thing is, I don't get it yet. So maybe it'll make perfect sense later.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Other things we know, for example, I just mentioned it, but Human Torch and Captain America. This is not the Human Torch from the Fantastic Four. It's the Android version that they made as part of the Invaders squad, which is Captain America's go get him and go sock Hitler in the face squad. Captain America is obviously this is the one with the OG scale costume, and this is the new more like tactical outfit. It's $40. It's gonna have 2 team tactical cards with it as well. I have no opinion. I don't. What do you guys think?
I'm frustrated that there was a release including a Human Torch and Doom was not announced. I find this insulting. That's my only opinion.
I have just given up on the Fantastic Four at this point. I've actually with this before.
Good.
Thank you. I think it is a good thing. I think with this, what they were really trying to do by putting the Human Torch in the game and making it the old school one with an android, I think what they're trying to do is to tell every fan of this game, just fuck you. Fuck your fandom of the Fantastic Four. It will never happen. Suck our dicks. I think that's what they were saying with this. And I tasted
specifically,
it.
They wanted you to feel bad because you should feel bad for liking the Fantastic Four.
I taste the smegma. I taste the crusty shit at the base of their dicks for this bullshit. And that's why I've decided, you know what? I'm going to pack it in. I really enjoy this game. I'm just going to enjoy this game. And I'm going to go play things. And just never pine for anything again, and just not feel feelings when new models get announced. That's what I've decided.
I think it'd be really inconvenient to be on fire all the time.
He's not on
I
fire all the
agree.
time. He's not.
He is literally on fire all of the time.
No, he's not. I
It
have
says
comic
it
books.
in the description.
Yeah, I know it says that, but they're in the comics. He's not on fire all the
Breathed
time.
in fire.
He's not breathing fire all the time.
He says he is engulfed in flames when near oxygen.
No, that's just how his like power works, or rather his android parts. It's really stupid. They never really go into they really
First
never go
off,
into
it's
they never
stupid.
go into the hard sci-fi of it. They just say oxygen lights it on fire. You're like, well, how the fuck does that work? Where does he get the fuel for it? He's a fucking android. Like, it's so dumb. I actually have a lot of comics featuring this guy. He worked. He was actually one of Danny Rand's like executives on his executive board for a while, and so he was a member of Heroes for Hire, just in like a like a background capacity. He was like the manager for Heroes for Hire when Iron Fist was running it as a business, and so I have a ton of comics featuring this guy, and so I've seen him a bunch, and this is like modern versions of him, not the old school. Like, I'm gonna go, let's go.
Was he like
win one for the
accidentally
red, white,
on
and blue?
fire?
What's
Was he
that?
like accidentally on fire? It was like, oh shit, he's on fire.
No,
He
he's
was
not
supposed
no.
to be.
It's not like Venture Brothers, where every time he touches
It is
oxygen,
literally Venture Brothers.
it's not. And if it is, that makes me more mad. But it's not. I know it. Unless for some reason they just want it to be. I have not read the old school Captain America from 1945. I've read a lot of the stuff that like takes
Maybe
place
over
like
the
time
50
travel,
years he learned
but-
how to control it, or they redesigned him.
Yeah.
There's
All I
just
know
so
is that
many
in the modern
questions.
era, he's just an android that can light on fire when he wants to.
Okay, so back to the grunt conversation.
Why?
My other thought was maybe his parent character is Captain America,
Uh-huh.
and it's just like an optional secondary box set where you can buy the grunt for Captain America or not.
I hope it's not. I really hope Captain America doesn't have a superpower that says summon another $45. That literally means that you can't use Captain America unless you pay another $45. That's
That's not true.
That'd be really bad.
It might not be integral to his kit like it is for Daredevil and Nick Fury, right? It might just be an extra thing that he can do. Like, maybe it's prohibitively expensive too, like it costs like 6 power to use or something. I don't know. It could be a lot of stuff, but I would find it really strange that there's a grunt style character model that has 3 characters on a base and like 1 stat line that isn't a grunt. Like, that just seems to defeat the purpose for me.
It seems a little weird, right? Like, why is
Yeah.
Winter Soldier and Punisher and Viper and Crossbones and Sin and all these other guys who just have guns? Why are they? I
agree. Viper and Sin should probably not be in the game.
Right.
Viper definitely shouldn't be.
Right. But
Sin,
hell,
Sin
fuck,
baby.
Rocket Raccoon, as cool as he is, he's just a rodent with a gun. Or sorry, a raccoon with a gun. So I mean, there's no reason why he should not just, he should be like less than 1 point, right? He's just something with a gun.
Well, but that justification, Groot and Rocket should just been 1 5-point model.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This base looks like what you expect Rocket and Groot to be as one model. So they have not ever done that. So is this good or bad? I don't know. I would bet this is not a grunt. Let's bet an episode on it. You want to bet some episodes on it? I will bet some.
That Nick Fury Sr. is a grunt?
Nick Fury Sr. is not a grunt. I don't think he will be a grunt.
Your bet would be that he's not. I think that he will be.
Yeah.
I'll put some digits on it. How many you want to go?
Let's go 50 episodes. 50 episodes.
All right. Now, don't get me wrong. I expect to lose this bet because I am very annoyed at things like this. So I'm betting against it because it's what I want, but I should be betting the opposite, so I'm happy regardless.
Okay.
Let's see. Nick Fury Sr. is
not a grunt.
Not a grunt. 50.
Now, what's weird is what happens. So, what happens if he is a character sometimes and a grunt sometimes?
Then I win. Because you're betting he's not a grunt.
Okay,
if he
deal.
is a grunt, I win.
Deal. Okay. Yeah. So, I have a question for you, Jeremy. Are you excited about a third Captain America in the game? Granted, one of them is a different persona, but you love.
I would raise my hand higher, but then you can't see it because it goes out of screen.
But the thing is, I know that Jeremy loves Captain America. to play against
Oh,
him.
really?
It's one of his favorite things to play against is Captain America.
Oh, I see what's happening.
He loves playing against Captain America.
He thinks it's funny. It just it's yet again another model I could give a shit about. I cannot. So you have Captain America, you have smaller Captain America, and then now you have Captain America from Crazy Racist Time.
Yeah.
So I mean,
you have crazy racist Captain America, you have normal Captain America, and you have anti-racist.
I love that
Captain
you guys
America.
assumed that he was a racist until he was put
No,
in ice.
he was just
Then he
created
woke
by
up.
racists.
You know what
That's
that
what I'm
ice
saying.
made me feel like? A lot less racist.
Yeah, to be
It's
fair,
gonna
he
be
was literally
Avengers.
designed to fight the racist people, but
it's gonna be Avengers, but no women are allowed on the team. Like that's gonna be.
I mean, they made a TV show about that. It's called Agent Carter.
Oh God. I don't care about those at all. I do not care.
I
Also-
personally am actually very excited. I really like having alternate versions of characters in the game. I think this is a good trend forward to see. Like, I think 3 is a happy number of characters in the game. Once you get to like 4, it's like, all right, we're kind of getting clogged up here. But I think 3 of all like the really famous characters is a good place. Like, we've got 3 Spider-Man, we got 3 Caps, we got 2 Iron Men, we got 2 Black Widows. I think we're going in a good direction.
I also like the more things to say. Every time they add a character with the same name, it lets you use all those tactics cards to say Captain America on it. Like I like,
Right.
I really like.
Depending, but yeah.
Right. I like that. Yes, you're right. But I do like that. It broadens the use of some things in the game that are already in the game. That when you saw it, you're like, oh man, that's a really exclusive, kind of a strange. When would I use that tactics card? And you're like, oh wait a minute, there's a new Captain America. Then now maybe I'll use that tactics card. There's another thing here, which is I've been playing a lot of Shield, and we are fairly sure because the Shield icon showed up a bunch, not the Avengers icon, but the Shield icon showed up a bunch, that these characters will all be Shield members, which more Shield, more better, I think.
Yeah, I think that's pretty obvious.
Yeah. So
I
speaking,
have a couple points.
okay, go ahead.
First of all, did anyone get a look at? Oh, we guess we would check. Parker, does it say Nick Fury Jr. on Nick Fury's
Yes,
card?
it says Nick Fury
So
Jr.
I would imagine that they're not going to be unique. Yeah, it says Junior. So even if the other one didn't say Senior, it doesn't matter. They're already different.
Mhm.
So you can put both of them in a Shield list. That was clearly intentional. Or else they would just said Nick Fury and Nick Fury Senior. So they're going to be able to both be used. Talking about specifically the duplicating characters, are you aware of the annoyance of Doctor Strange and Doctor Strange Sorcerer Supreme?
Yeah,
That's very annoying to me.
yeah.
I mean, if you want to say that he can't use the Defender's card, sure. It's really annoying to me that that's true, but it doesn't make sense. But whatever. And then the main one that really annoys me is the Wong one. Wong doesn't get his extra defense die if he's within range of Sorcerer Supreme, which is really stupid.
He's a more selfish sorcerer.
Also,
I guess.
Also, do you think they're going to make a double standard with this? Because Nick Fury's 3 cards, Eye in the
I'll
Sky.
say Junior.
No, they don't. They just say Nick Fury. Kind of like.
Oh, well, that won't be a problem because Grunts can't play tactics cards.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Fucking got him!
Do you,
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
I wondered about that though, because previously in the game, like with Doctor Strange, it's true that Doctor Strange can't play any of Doctor Strange's tactics cards. That's what I remember.
That is correct. Because Doctor Strange, space Sorcerer Supreme is not the name Doctor Strange.
Yeah. So what's weird is that Nick Fury Jr. is not Nick Fury, right? So.
No, but his character name is Nick Fury.
Oh, right, his character name. That's right.
His
Okay.
alter ego is Nicholas J. Fury Jr., but his character name is Nick Fury. So by that justification, I would imagine that Nick Fury, space, and the Howling Commandos will not be able to play Nick Fury.
That makes sense because it's Nick Fury Senior, space, and yeah.
They're really not fans of space.
Yeah. It's a
yeah.
written in blood.
So yeah, I find that stuff annoying. And then Jeremy, I have a question for you.
Yep.
How do you make 7 even? You take out the S, silly. Because then it goes to even.
I'm going to go
now in the middle of news. I thought this was sacred space.
You asked Jeremy a question. I wanted to ask him a question.
Oh,
too.
okay, I get it.
Right.
Jeremy, Name one character in Hydra that you really wanted to see in this game. Go.
What? No,
Wrong.
I don't
It's
know
Baron
anything about
Strucker and
Hydra.
Arnim
Do it.
Zola. Wrong.
Oh, God damn it.
Can I go next? Can you ask me that question?
Yeah, go.
Viper.
Viper. Ugh.
Shit.
Wrong.
Wait,
Already
no.
in the game.
Take back.
You guys
Take
are so
back.
bad at this. The answer was Baron Strucker and close second Arnim Zola, because Baron
I
Strucker.
think Zola's fine.
I think Zola's awesome. We just did a comic corner about
Mhm.
Dimension Z where Zola took over everything. Great book if you haven't read it. But Baron Strucker actually is another interesting character. He's pretty cool. He was kind of the Red Skull and Zemo light. He's just a guy who's really good at organizing people and exciting them. He's just a charismatic leader. Nothing else super fantastic about him. But Arnim Zola, super genius, took his mind and put it into a bio.
Kang suit.
Yeah. Basically, it is functionally a computer that has a copy of his brain in it.
Yeah.
But
It's an android copy of his body.
Yeah.
That, yeah.
Arnim Zola is he basically combines a lot of things about oh my God, I'm just blanking on the word. Psychogenetics, like understanding how it is that minds are broken down into chemical signals in the brain, and then he can transpose those into electronics, and then also modify biology with them. So he has like cool things like psychic diseases that he can use, and of course he has a laser on top of his head. But he's a very cool character, super genius, super scientist who combines biology and technology in his stuff. So they're coming together. They're $50. They have 2 Team Tactics cards coming with them. And this probably means there's going to be a Hydra faction. Probably. We saw a big Hydra symbol in the video.
It's announced. That was what the video was. It was announcing S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra being like competing affiliations.
Okay. It never said that.
It did.
It did?
It did.
Okay. I am so skeptical of this because I wanted
It's like it's not real.
I wanted to happen a long time ago, and I felt like there was plenty of models a long time ago.
It happened.
And apparently now it's actually going to happen. I'm so excited for this. Also, Red Skull and Hydra Troopers, so another grunt character, and with grunts, we're pretty sure no bets necessary for this one. This is going to be a grunt.
I'm very excited for this.
Yeah. So we do not know how much it is, and we do not know how many Team Tactics cards. We assume there's going to be a bunch because usually leader characters for new factions. New affiliations rather come out with lots of they usually come out with 3, sometimes like with the last S.H.I.E.L.D. release it was like 6 or 7. It was something nuts. So Nick Fury came with a ton. So this is Red Skull a la 1954 with his Hydra minions. And you're really excited about this, Brandon?
Yeah.
Really? Tell me more. Why? I did not know.
I
guess I
just
didn't
think
picture this.
Red Skull generic bad guys are fun.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think Red Skull is an interesting design space that's kind of been missed after the core set.
Mm-hmm.
And so Cabal feels like they've just been completely ignored since the game came out.
Right.
Like, they came out, it was Red Skull and fucking MODOK, and then they added a bunch of good characters, but like they haven't supported the affiliation. And so they're one of the largest affiliations, and they have no identity at all. Mm-hmm. They used to be like the hard hitters, and then they kept getting more hard hitters, and then like nothing else really happened. They got a second leader, but I think everyone here could agree that Cabal has no affiliation identity.
None.
And they have 2 leaders. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yep.
And so Red Skull feels a little bit dated, like he got power crept or design crept out of the game. He doesn't do enough. He doesn't have enough synergy to make his list work. But he has a good leadership. He's a 4-pointer, and you can't really afford a 4-point support character in today's meta. And so I think they just need a little bit more. And so while the new Red Skull's going to be a Hydra leader and probably not a Cabal leader, it's opening up the opportunity for more stuff that will obviously be affiliated with Cabal to come in my opinion. Because, like, in my opinion, obviously Red Skull and the Hydra Grunts will be affiliated with Cabal.
Mm-hmm.
And I could be wrong. And so anything new will maybe spice up the affiliation that I used to enjoy.
I'm actually really looking forward to one of my favorite models in the game being in another affiliation, which is Zemo. I put Zemo in
Mhm.
so many things.
Yeah.
Is it weird that the very first thing I thought I was like, "Yay, Hydra faction! I can put Zemo in something else." Like I just want to, like, kind of what you're saying. When you put Zemo in his faction, you feel like you're almost handicapping him because some of the leaderships in the game are so strong, and he likes them so much. But a Hydra faction by itself sounds like so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see what they do to make it feel like Hydra, because so far in the game they've done a pretty good job, not always, but finding interesting ways to honor the feel of a faction. So I'll be curious to see. Of course, the cut off one head, another takes its place, right? Like, what is
Yeah.
you want that to do something? I'm sure that'll be what it's like, but how do they resolve that in the game? I'm really excited to see.
I'm hoping that his leadership is kind of generally good, but not amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Star-Lord, where it's like it's good and something you can build a list around, but it's not overpowering.
Mm-hmm.
But the ability is like when he dies, you just select somebody else to be the leader, and so it keeps going.
That's cool.
And maybe even gets stronger after your leader dies.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like maybe if you've handed it off, it's like, well, now it's winging it tokens, but you get 4. And then you kill somebody else, winging tokens, but you get 5.
Oh, it's
or
literally
like,
a Hydra.
Yeah, so it literally keeps growing the more that it does. Or maybe it's just every time someone's KO'd, which would mean that if they have a grunt character in as a leader, could be really strong. It's like, oh, you killed my Hydra grunts. Like, kind of like Nick Fury gets stronger as you daze and KO people.
Mm-hmm.
Could be very similar for Hydra. Oh, you dazed or KO'd somebody, I could do something.
Yeah.
I'm excited for something like that.
I love all the you did something to me while I'm playing the game, but every time you try to win the game, I punish you for it. I love those abilities. Yeah. I would love it if it was something like that.
Maybe he can't even summon his grunts, and just when someone's dazed or KO'd, that they come out automatically.
Yeah, I would. So it's Red Skull, Hydra Troopers, Baron Strucker, Arnim Zola, Zemo, Viper, Sin, Bob. Probably Crossbones.
Crossbones in the video. There's a wide shot of everybody. I think that's it though.
Oh, there is a wide shot in the video? Oh, now you've got me.
I feel like you've never watched the video.
I watched this video. I'm not going to lie. As soon as I saw the Hydra symbol, I kind of blacked out and I don't remember anything else. I was like, is that Hydra symbol?
You are the worst.
Now I want to see like this wide shot you're saying. Yeah, they show Zemo, show Sin, Taskmaster's on there. So are they really gonna put Taskmaster in 3 affiliations and he's a rogue agent? They really, really, really want people to play Taskmaster.
Yeah. So it is. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Taskmaster. So it's Taskmaster, Sin, Zola, Viper, Strucker, Minions, Crossbones, and Red Skull. That new Red Skull model looks pretty awesome.
It does.
He's got like the lightning and everything. Is there like an empowered Red Skull in the story?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out why does Baron Strucker have a red hand. I haven't watched a lot of Red. I never watched a lot of Strucker. Read a lot of Strucker stuff. I don't know what's going on with Red Skull there. Like I don't recognize that chess piece from any comic I've ever read. But I mean, he's used super science and like magic to empower himself so many times. I bet somebody could point me in the direction of the one comic where he used that vest to, empower himself with what looks to be like mystical power. He was, he's been focused on occult stuff and science stuff for a long time. So my guess it's an occult thing. It's probably a magic thing. Is my guess. And also that was his part of his thing. He was a member of the Thule Society with, Hitler, and so that's how he got involved with Nazis.
I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that the new Red Skull will be a Soulstone bearer?
Well, it's not the ghostly. It's not the ghastly ghostly.
I know.
I don't think so. Maybe. I mean, they could. I don't think.
I would definitely see Space Stone first.
Space Stone.
And now that Space Stone's been errated to not be 2 points, that would actually be like maybe compelling.
Right. Space Stone or Soulstone even. Maybe he just does it to just do it. But I don't know.
I really like it. If he could, that would be really cool. I like the ability to make your leader into whatever point and it just kind of is stuck there instead of having the stone and it could be 4, could be 5. Like
it's
cool.
Yeah, I think more stones in this game should be a goal of theirs, in my personal opinion.
Mhm.
I think they should put stones in more places. The fact that it's only
Yep.
the cosmic characters right now and Strange feels a little bland. I really would like it to be a lot of more places. Anyway, so do you want to move
Cool.
on to the next big one? So the next big one is in fact very big. It is a really big model called Malakith. Malakith, for those of you who don't know, is the dark elf lord of the entire realm of the Svartalfheim. Am I crazy?
Yes, Svartalfheim.
Yes, Svartalfheim. And he is also the Lord of the Wild Hunt. And because he's Lord of the Wild Hunt, he comes on a big ass Siberian tiger with
Nope.
bat wings.
It's a bog tiger.
Oh well, bullshit. How do you know this is a bog tiger?
Because I did my research.
Well done. Look at you.
Fucking amateur hour over here.
Yeah, look at me. So he's on a bog tiger, and he is like it is. Image is ripped straight out of the War of the Realms, which is a very recent Marvel Comics event that spanned a lot of them, where Malakith decided to, and with Asgard's absence from the actual realm that it's supposed to be in, since Asgard is occupying Earth space, he decides to take advantage of their absence and Odin's absence and just take over all the realms. And he declares war on them, and he's stopped, of course, at Earthrealm, like you, of course, he is. So Midgard is where he stopped. But if you want to go find out how he is stopped and how this War of the Realms shake out, go read it. It's a really fun read, very exciting transition for Thor. But
I know a lot of people did not like Thor: The Dark World, but I think it's worth a rewatch. A lot like Age of Ultron, it got a bad rap, and the movie's not really that bad.
Yeah. But if you're wondering why this Malakith doesn't look like the one from the movie, it's because they really didn't borrow a lot from the comics.
Liberal aesthetic license.
Yeah, this one is straight out of War of the Realms comic cover. It's his exact look on that exact tiger. So we don't know much about him other than that they've said that he can summon an army of hounds to pursue. We're not actually sure what that means for the game. He is apparently transforms mortals. He beguiles them. Using magic persuasion to have them do what they want. We're not sure if, some sort of mind control probably for the game. We're not sure exactly how it works. Maybe it's part of an attack that he does. And we can assume he's probably going to move pretty long on a giant tiger with wings. He's a huge base, and he's going to come with 2 tactics cards, and it's been confirmed that he is a Cabal leader. So you're speaking of talking about Cabal. Give Cabal some more love. He is going to be a leadership for Cabal.
Aaron, one of our locals, is super pumped for this guy.
Yeah.
He's a big Dark Elf fan, apparently, so he's very excited. I don't know. I'm not very excited for him. I guess we'll see what he looks like when he comes out. I'm always cautious of these big, like, epic, fancy fantasy models. I've never been too into them. Like, just because you're on a mount doesn't, like, get me going. But I mean, he looks cool. I guess we'll see.
He looks like a toy I owned in the
exactly.
80s. That was a Master of the Universe collection.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that from the comics, since I've just read about this guy several times in different comics, like he's like as a character in the Marvel Universe, he's great. He's a really dastardly, awesome villain in the Marvel Universe, and so I really like that they chose him because he's been actually a bad guy for a ton of different Marvel characters. He feels a lot different than like Cassandra Nova, because she's like, where did she? I mean, yes, she's really evil, but I don't know why her. This Malakith is a big bad in the Marvel Universe. I think it's a cool choice. I think it's really daring that when to put him on that giant model and make him so imposing on the table. I think it's another reason why people will play him, just because of how cool it'll look when he's on the table. He'll look awesome. But the Cabal leadership is what I'm really excited by. Because you just mentioned how Cabal has gotten no love.
I'm excited for a new leadership.
Yeah.
The problem is, given the stature of this model, I'd be blown away if he was less than 5 points. As a base cost. And then everyone that you ask the question goes, oh, well, obviously, will he be the bearer of the Reality Stone? Which is everyone immediately goes, well, yeah, like he's actually after the ether in a lot of timelines. Like it was like part of their realm.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about it functionally in the game, giant dark elf riding a winged mount wants to fight people with sword.
Mm-hmm.
Who needs the reality stone? Hey, guess what? It's on this guy. Like, so he's basically almost guaranteed to be a 6-point leader in my mind. Because either he'll be a 5+1 or he'll just be a base 6.
Mm-hmm.
He might even be a 7-pointer, like a 6+1.
I actually wondered if he'll be. That was my first question as soon as he came into the game. Will he be the first 7-point model? That's Thanos is kind of 7, but first
he's a potential 7.
Yeah.
And then for a while, oh no, because there's never another 7. Because
There has not?
Doctor Strange.
Yep.
No, Doctor Strange was a 7 for a while.
He was
before they reduced the cost of
Yeah.
the reality.
So
stone.
he is currently there is no 7-point model commonly taken unless you play Thanos with 1 stone, which would be kind of strange unless you're trying to play some interesting mission selection.
So yeah, I could very easily see him falling in the 5 to 6 range, and I think the reality stone is like an 80%er.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's going to be the majority likely chance he's going to be a 6-pointer.
Mm-hmm. And you don't want that? I thought you liked tall Cabal. You used to play them all the time.
I do like tall boys, but I don't like my leaders to be tall very often. Because the problem is
Magneto.
It makes the
Sorry,
flexibility.
I have some bullshit in my throat.
Well, right. No, but Magneto is the whole point. Like, but as I just said, I don't like this guy. Like, him being the leader is new, but it's not what I want. And so the fact that I'm locked into that, I can't change anything else.
Mm. So
yeah, if I was excited for Malakith, I'd be excited that he was the leader. But I'm not excited for Malakith, so I'd rather him be as cheap as possible.
Jeremy, did this burn your loins up a little bit? Were you excited about this?
Not at all.
No
I think he looks.
loins.
I think he looks dumb. I'm
agree.
not a huge fan of.
I did not think I would be the most excited for this, and I've already told you how I'm not going to be excited anymore for models in this game.
The only, like, if you told me this was an Inhuman model, I literally would be just as excited about the model coming out.
Mm.
It's only that he has a leadership for Cabal that I even give a shit about this model.
Okay.
I mean, he's not, like, that model is not in any TV show. It's not in anything current that's kind of like in the multimedia world.
Yeah.
I mean, other than
Parker,
comic books. So it's,
you have the
really
most
care.
experience or most exposure to this guy, so obviously you're going to be the most attached to him at this point.
True.
Yeah.
I will say
anything else?
I will say that in the list of all these things, Hydra is by far the coolest thing, in my personal opinion. But this is a distant second. We know that Malakith is going to come with 2 cards. One is the Black Bifrost, and the other is Midnight Phantasmagoria. The Black Bifrost, theorizing, is probably going to be a moving card in the War of the Realms. Malakith creates a version of the Bifrost that used to inhabit in Asgard. He used Asgardian arcane technology to do so, and it's how he gets his army around so fast, and it was a key to his early victory as he kind of blitzkrieged all the realms. So we can assume it's some sort of thing like the Bifrost cards we already have, which is moving models. We're not sure how it will be different, but we can make that a strong assumption. Midnight Phantasmagoria is an attack. It's a magical spell. So most likely it's an attack he can do.
Is this not the everlasting darkness thing that he tries to do in the movie?
No,
it's totally different, right?
I don't know exactly if it's supposed to be the same as that or not. But Midnight Phantasmagoria is typically in all lores. It's actually a ton of different lores. A bunch of video games too, like Final Fantasy type games. There's often like a black magic spell called this. It literally just means like a bunch of magic blackness coming at you.
Okay, so it's Shadow Bolt. Got it.
Giant. It's more like shadow. Like descending. Like it's a big. Like it's supposed to be like a huge thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Usually.
Anyway, let's move on. Let's get out of the news. And what do we have left, sir?
We have cards for Scourge, the Executioner, and cards for Heimdall. So, who do you guys want to start with? I'm going to let Jeremy decide. Jeremy, who we start with? Heimdall, the All-Seeing, or Scourge, the Executioner?
Scourge is easy. We can do Scourge first, because I think
Scourge
Heimdall
first.
is a deep dive.
All right, so Scourge is a 3-cost character. He has 6 health on the front side and 5 health on the back side. That is the only difference between his front and back. He has 4 physical defense, 3 energy defense, and 2 mystic defense. He has a battle axe, which is range 2, 6 dice. Only gives him 1 power, though. And it has a wild bleed. He has his spender, which is 4 dice. It is range 3, rolls...
4 power.
Sorry, 4 power, sorry. 4 power, 8 dice, range 3. If the target already has bleed, he can re-roll 2 attack dice during the attack. And it also has a wild bleed. So can we just stop and talk for a second that they put a 3-cost model in the game that has roll 6 dice? They just stop right there.
This is what I've been saying for a long time, is the attack dice pools are hugely overrated. If you don't have anything to back it up, like action economy or dice mods, it's really not that impressive.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, he obviously has a very, very appealing stat line for 3 points.
Yeah. 4 physical defense for 3 points on top of 6 dice. Boy.
There's a lot of 3-pointers with 4 physical defense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's not nothing.
You want to talk about his powers? Jeremy, I think, wants to talk about powers.
Sure, go for it.
Okay. He has first power. It's called Storm Giant Strength. It is 3 cost. It lets you throw a size 3 terrain feature within 2 short. He also has Right Hand Man, which is a 2 cost power. It is the opposite, it's protect, but the opposite of that. So when an enemy character is within 2 of him, targets another allied, he can spend 2 power to make him the target of the attack. This is the same
we
one
call this ability Taunt.
Yeah, this is the same one that Honey Badger and I'm just blanking his name.
There's a bunch of characters.
Black Dwarf, Luke Cage.
Luke Cage, yeah, Black Dwarf. He also has aggressive as a passive power, so he automatically gets to move short if you do any damage to him with an attack. And he is an Asgardian, so he gains an additional power per turn, which is kind of helps offset the fact that he only ever gains 1 from his attacks.
So I would just like to say that you are now allowed to throw your crossbones in the trash.
Yeah.
There's never, ever, ever, reason to play crossbones.
It's so amazing. He was already bad when Drax came out. Drax made him irrelevant. And
Drax
now,
invalidated. Well, the only argument was he had aggressive, and
Yeah.
so if you're playing against stuff like Shuri, it wasn't as bad.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this was clearly made because Asgard has a serious problem with good cheap models.
Yeah.
And so they're clearly just over tweaking the Asgardian 3-pointers
Mm-hmm.
to try and make Asgardian level out a bit more because they've got way too many expensive models.
Mm-hmm. But man, oh man, does this feel good? I mean, he's meat and potatoes though, right? He doesn't do a lot of fancy stuff. He's just really good at being in the middle and swinging his axe, and probably taking a few hits.
I disagree. I think this guy is like on par with the Lizard. The thing that people aren't talking about is that he can, on turn 2, get basically anywhere and throw a size 3. Like Drax doesn't do that because Drax doesn't have the power generation.
And Lizard can throw people. He cannot throw people.
Right. But that's big because there's size 3s all over the place. Like he can get somewhere, throw a big piece of terrain, and hit somebody. Like he's threatening a lot of 3 and 4 point characters with potentially like one-rounding them even without a charge mechanic.
Right. Because he can move. Because he'll get 2 power at the start of the turn. He'll do 1 attack.
Yeah.
And
because he's doing 2.5 to 3 damage on average with his throw.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't have any kind of anti-throw abilities, or you're forcing him to burn like brace on the first turn to try and avoid it, and then he's putting 6 dice into you, like that's averaging about 6 damage.
Well, not sure how he's going to do there. He's doing it first turn. But turn 2 is what.
Second turn, sorry, I meant second turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I mean by meat and potatoes is that this guy is not tricky. I don't think. Is he tricky? I guess
no. He's very straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do we don't know that he has a tactics card yet, do we?
We know that he has 2. We don't know what they do.
Got it.
We know we assume Meet My Executioner and Weapons in Midgard. Either of them could be, but
I think they're both pretty obviously.
Yeah.
I doubt we Meet My Executioner as a Heimdall card.
Right, and Weapons of Midgard also unlikely that because it's because behold my stuff, right? That's
I would assume that Weapons of Midgard is going to be some kind of attack card like Heavy Ordnance, and maybe even the replacement for Heavy Ordnance, because Heavy Ordnance did not get reprinted. And then I think Meet My Executioner is going to be some kind of team up card with Hela and him to try and get Hela back on the table.
or Enchantress. It could be either, depending upon.
That's true. Could be either. Could just be, honestly, Scourge and any other Asgardian.
Yeah.
Entirely possible. But I think that's, I mean, like you said, this guy's not complicated, so we probably move on.
Yep. So next thing is Heimdall. Now this is the one that's got me a little wet. I'm excited for Heimdall. Heimdall is 3 points. He has 6 health on the front side, 5 health on the back. He's size 2. Since the theme, he moves medium. His stats are a little bit different than Scourge, though. He has 3s across the board in physical, energy, and mystic. His strike is 5 dice with range 2, and he gains all the power for all damage dealt. He also has a spender attack, Horfund, which is his famous sword. It costs 3. It is 7 dice at range 2. If it deals damage after attack is resolved, the character may push the target character away medium. My God. If you really want to push somebody away, damn.
I don't think that is even remotely relevant, but go ahead.
What? What are you talking about? How many times has your
character...
You're never
going to spend 3 power on that attack on this character.
No, absolutely you might. Because how many times have you spent 3 power on a character just to throw somebody off a point? It happens to me in games constantly. And now, instead of just spending 3 power to throw a character off a point and doing no damage, you're spending 3 power rolling 7 dice and pushing them away. I think it's fantastic economy.
I disagree.
You're wrong. Because I have seen people throw me so many times medium just to get me away from a point.
If it was 3 power for a guarantee, sure. And if you're in a situation where the only thing that can help you is a random push, sure. Then I can see it happening. But I don't think... it's not like a likely thing.
You think 7 dice versus their dice is going to be...
I have failed to deal damage with plenty of those.
So you think it's that bad, huh? Maybe I'm
I don't think it's
wrong.
bad. It's likely to happen, but it's like a 60-70%er. Like, that means you have a 30 to 40% chance to fail. Not to mention, like, because it's tied to an attack, you have to worry about bodyguards and stuff like that. Like, it's not like a guaranteed thing.
Okay.
And I think that the other things in his kit, the only time you're using that is when he like just wakes up and he's got 10 power.
Right.
Like that's the only, his other abilities are so incredible.
Yeah.
That I wouldn't even care if they took that off his card.
I think the only time I would use that is if I had 5 power to use it, push you like very, very into somebody next to you and then forfeit them and then strike them again.
Okay.
You can because you can do 3 attacks with him if that.
This character just standing there with power on him is so incredibly impactful.
It's crazy.
I cannot imagine it's a good idea to activate him and spend 6 power. That would blow me away.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and talk about his powers then, because Guardian of the Bifrost is his first 3-cost power. He can choose himself or any allied character within 4 and immediately place them 2. Very similar to what we see with Clea or...
it is exactly the
Red
Master
Skull.
of the Cube on Red Skull.
Yeah. All-Seeing Eyes is cost 2. When an allied character within 3 is attacking, defending, or dodging during the modified dice step, you can use this power. The allied character rerolls up to 2 of its own dice. Then... alternatively, when an allied character within 3 rolls dice for a crisis card or team tactics card, this character may use the superpower. The allied character may roll up to 2 of its own dice. So, is this like the only time I can think of rolling dice for a team tactics card would be something like the Guardians card, Misfits, right? You roll a dice.
No, it's for a team tactics card, yeah, probably.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a team
more
tactics card.
Importantly, the crisis card segment of that, but yeah.
Yeah, it's really for the crisis card.
Reroll pay to flips, you can reroll search to finds, you can reroll all that stuff. Or hell, you can even reroll the intrusions portals.
Right. And it only costs 2 power, and he will have 2 power at the very start of the game. Also, it's 2 power for 2 dice. It is for 2 power within range 3 of him, attacking, defending, or dodging winging it token. It is a Guardian's leadership. So if you like Guardian's leadership, you could just have this for Heimdall.
Alright.
And
Way
that's
better than Guardian leadership. But
yeah, and that it's way
Way
better
better.
because it was for dodging and tactics cards and crisis cards and 2 power, and he also has other powers like Forefend. It costs 2 power also. When an enemy character ends a movement within 2 of him, this character may use this superpower and immediately make a strike attack against the enemy character. This superpower can be used only once per turn. Yeah. This guy seems like an absolute monster. He seemed
this guy seems so unbelievably overtuned that I don't even know how to rate him on a scale of 3-pointers. Like this is a 4-point character. 100% a 4-point character. He even has 11 hit points. Like I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like this guy is insane.
So the word on the street is he's the new drop-in. Like he's going to be the new Black Cat.
Could be in every roster.
Yeah. He's going to be everywhere. And I mean, you can see why. I see him and I'm like, when I started really digging through, I was like, I might be able to make Dormammu work. Like, he actually has some really cool shit for him. So
I mean, just play Inhumans and just give every single power in your list to him. Like, what could go wrong? Like, it's a better list when he has all of your power.
Yep.
That's a fact. So,
he gets to move your stuff. He gets to make sure your dice roll well, even when you're doing crisis cards. That just seems... Also, it's incredibly cheap. You would think maybe it costs 3 to reroll 2 dice. Like, I'd pay 3 power to reroll 2 dice, but it costs 2. It's 1 dice per power. That's dumb.
Yeah. They did remove the Shuri sliding scale of you get to choose how many, which was probably part of the problem is it was too efficient, but also Shuri was out to range 4. He's only out to range 3.
Mm-hmm.
This is not all-encompassing because you can't get your entire list within 3 of Heimdall, but you can get a lot of stuff.
I will say that so if you loved All Seeing Eyes, Shuri was already in the game, so it
does not. She doesn't work on crisis rolls.
Right.
I don't even think she works on dodges.
She's just not.
It is unprecedented, like access to rerolling dice.
Right.
But the thing we were talking about is like the obvious thing is you drop this in Avengers roster, and Steve makes all of his shit basically free.
Yeah.
And now every scenario roll you make for the entire game is going to be washed through this machine.
So the one that's really bad that I heard about was folks talking about Sword with Steve Avengers.
Well, even without Steve, you can even do Sam and do like go wide. Like I don't know what you do. Like Steve would probably be fine too.
Being able to do it for one every time with every character and just re-roll it. Are you fucking kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You functionally double your characters, right? You're nearly doubling most rolls.
Yeah, because you never roll 3 dice on a scenario, at least currently. So you're getting... Oh, no, that's not true.
No,
yeah, with the defense rerolls.
Well, yeah, with the defense rerolls.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about the search to find ones and the sword. But yeah, on the... you'll get to reroll... God, so many throughout the game. Because you can put Heimdall, like, cheating a little bit to one side.
Mm-hmm.
On turn 2, he's kind of like just cheating to one side and back a bit so he can get your guy on the right flank in range, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he activates, moves to the left, attacks somebody, gets more power, and then your other people start interacting with those and re-rolling through that wash. It's just like...
Well, I don't know if he only has range 2 attacks. I don't know if you're going to move and gain power, but...
Right. There would have to be somebody there.
Yeah.
So good news. Field dressing is going to go away, hopefully. And you can actually get this goddamn guy off the table. I mean, granted...
That's true, I guess.
He does have a special card, which will stop one of those attacks, generally, but...
Yeah, because you have to deal with...
Odin
well, if you're playing in Asgardians... that's the problem, is he's not going to have that card 90% of the time.
Yeah, he's not playing with
the problem with overcooking the characters in an affiliation, trying to balance the bad characters in that affiliation, is you just don't play those characters in that affiliation. Welcome to Enchantress. That was the exact problem we had. Mm-hmm. Enchantress was super overtuned to compensate for the bad Asgardians, and then she just got played in everything else.
Yeah, it kind of seems like this guy should have been 4 points. That way he would have...
This guy would still get played at 4.
He would, but it wouldn't just go everywhere, like...
Mm-hmm.
That's a different thing. But for 3, you can afford 3. Everybody can afford 3. Just drop them
You usually
in.
have to, because usually you build your affiliation and you pick the best models, and then you have space left over. Is what I find usually.
I do not want to play against Avengers with this guy, and not even just Steve. Sam is just as bad because they can actually like protect Heimdall.
Oh yeah,
because you throw in like, I mean, you have to mention Steve Avengers. How are you killing Heimdall and Steve Avengers? Because you just activate Heimdall and put Captain America right next to yourself, and you're like, fuck me, like that only costs 2 power.
Mm-hmm. He's adding extra dice to Captain
Yeah.
America. Like, it's crazy. Like, this guy has the kit, man.
Yeah.
And like I say, not even like towards the end of the game, you have a buttload of power on him, and you have nothing else to do. He gets to whack-a-mole you 3 fucking times with this 7 push you like into somebody right next to him. And
also, don't forget that his all-seeing eyes rerolls do not say other character, so he can reroll his own dice.
Yep. Yeah, if the fact that Forefend and All-Seeing Eyes cost 2 power, so every time you move towards get within 2 of him, he's going to attack you with 2 rerolls and 5 dice. It means in Steve, he's probably getting his power back, right? There's a really good chance he's getting his power back. So he's just doing 5 damage to you just for moving close. Maybe dazing you doing your turn. Like I see, like there is a world in which you play Steve with a bunch of 3-pointers that never lets you do what you want to do because everything's always blowing up and hurting you during your turn.
Well, also, like, as we pointed out, there's 5 kinds of movement. It doesn't say your move action. It just says movement.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, Sam throws his shield and somebody pushes them within 2 of Heimdall, he attacks them.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Yeah, he's on the must-kill list.
Yeah, he has to absorb every attack for the entire game.
The good news,
all of it.
I guess that is the good news, which is he's
not immortal.
Yeah, he is actually not immortal. And there are some ways to play around Steve. Anybody who's ever played against Steve Avengers knows that Steve can't keep everybody alive, even one model.
He can keep Heimdall alive.
He might he might do okay, but I haven't seen that happen.
The problem is with good positioning, you have to reach so hard to get him that you're probably going to come up short and just end up giving him more power, which he's going to use to punish you for trying to kill him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think Heimdall is going to be really good and really, really, really good in Steve Avengers. But
like, what happens when you have 10 power and he just TKs your whole list? Like, so gross.
Yeah, the fact that he can bring Cap back to him on his turn he's also good. He's just like, if you try to move away.
Start the turn. Let's say your opponent even has priority. It's like, all right, activate, go up, get Steve out of the way. All right, Steve activates, moves back, and hits somebody. Cool. Activates somebody else, moves Steve out of the way again. All right, cool. Heimdall activates, places himself backwards to be with Steve, and then places like somebody else in your way, and you're like, cool, that's fun.
He can only do it once per turn.
No, it is a character can be placed by this power only once a turn.
Choose this
he can do it.
right now.
It's Cosmic Portal for friendlies only.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I just read once per turn.
And it only costs 2 with Steve. It's with Steve. I mean, I don't know what they are smoking when they did it to think. People don't like Steve.
They must have
Avengers,
just not play tested it with Steve, is my only thought.
Yeah.
Does Steve have a Spider-Man symbol on it?
Holy shit.
Or maybe
gone.
Or maybe they did, and he was just killable enough because he's just some health and okay dice, and maybe. But it also works when he's defending. Oh god, he can even roll his dice when he's defending.
So let's see. Steve, Hulk, Iron Man, Heimdall is 16 points. Is my math wrong? That sounds right. Yeah, it's 16.
That's 16, yeah.
That's a brutal 16. Yeah, rerolls, you got positioning, you got damage. That's a brutal 16.
What about a Black Order 19? Just quit the game?
I don't know if Black Order powers him enough.
I only think it takes 1 turn.
I mean, what does he do in Black Order? He has to keep up with Corvus to get the rerolls. And Corvus doesn't really need the rerolls.
I think.
Are you just talking about using it on defense just to camp
any
there and try and...
Any of it. You get to move.
I don't know.
You don't have to activate Thanos first. to move.
I think by
someone
that
back.
argument, Shuri's. I think in that example, Shuri's just as good. But I think people underutilize Shuri with Black Order.
Sure. I think on turn 2, when he has 4 power, he's just kind of an unstoppable monster. Like, you have to stay away from him. Like, oh my god, you can't let him get more power.
I don't think he individually is scary. The
no,
problem
but he gets more power.
Right, that's the problem. Is it's gonna be that Black Cat situation. It's like, yeah, if you attack her and she dies and nothing goes wrong, it feels good. But there's 3 out of 5 times, you come up short and you look like the worst player ever because you get so horribly punished if he doesn't die.
Well, the good news is, unlike Black Cat, Black Cat, you can actually send models that can kill things, and you might have to overcommit to Black Cat, but at least with Black Cat, when you send MODOK a Black Cat, you can't really roll his dice. Like, you can't fix it at all. You have to raw dog Black Cat, and Heimdall fixes his own dice, which are on defense worse. And he has to spend his power to do that, which means he's actually lowering his ability to do what you guys are nervous about, which is the rubber band effect. So I think his big thing that controls him is just doing damage to him. Like, if you have a character that can go up and just throw something at him and hit him really well, with an efficient attack, I think he's going to go down, and he's not going to be super scary. I don't think he'll be as scary as Black Cat in that respect. I don't think.
I don't know. Maybe. Like, he's only really rerolling if he thinks he's going to die, and if he's thinking he's going to die, then the rerolling is saving him from, because you get to see the dice first, and it's after attacker dice mods, so you can look at it and go, oh, this is your last attack, I'm going to be alive at 1, I won't reroll just to get the extra power, or you can make the judgment call at the time.
Sure.
Like, I don't know that's really, I mean, he's going to end up with power. You're going.
I think he's going to have some power, but I think if he has 6 health and he starts the turn with 2 power, let's say 3 power or 4 power, and he starts spending it on All Seeing Eyes, he's then not using all his other stuff. I'm just saying he's not an infinite well of power when you attack him if you're trying to keep him alive. And if you're not trying to keep him alive, he'll die because he has nothing else. And Forfend sounds really good until you hit somebody to give them enough power to do their spender. And like, that kind of shit happens too. Forfend
That's
sounds
just a joke. Yeah, I don't think Forfend happens unless it's just like, ha, go fuck yourself. Like, I already won the game.
Right. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I think maybe the reason why they played him and they felt like he wasn't egregious is he's a model like lots of models in the game that if you allow him to just sit there and gain power, or if you trick him out with an affiliation or a combination like with Steve, he's going to feel much more efficient than he normally does. But I think he just dies. I think Steve is the answer because he protects him and helps him.
I feel like All Seeing Eyes should have been pick a lane. It shouldn't have been reroll Crisis or attrition dice. It should have been one or the other.
Mm-hmm. Are there going to be games where he feels invincible? I bet. But we already have 3-point models in the game that feel impossible with their dice, like X-23 is a good example. So,
anyway, yeah, I'm just worried about this guy in like 2 particular lists, and then the rest of it, I think he'd just be very good. I don't think he's game breaking in those at all, but I don't want to play against him in Avengers. That sounds super unfun.
It'd be really super unfun. Loki, Heimdall, in Steve Avengers. I think that'd be super fun.
Why you say that?
Just because of all of the stuff you couldn't do. Every single
the dice.
Yeah, every single time you attack, your opponent goes, "Hold on, let me think about the 3 ways I can respond to your attack," like that kind of thing.
Yeah,
it just would be so annoying.
I'm going to say the last bit of news we have, and we can finally get done with this. We spent way too long in news.
No, we spent the perfect amount of time in news.
The Asgardian box set has been announced. It is $60, which is a 25% discount over buying the original box sets. Now that I think about this more, I think this is a way to adjust the cards. I think they're doing it this way so that they can release the new horizontal landscape format cards with the old box sets, and they just didn't want to put them all in the basically I think they've realized that like their design space and like the way they develop models now, in addition to the visual changes they've made to the cards, this is like the demarcation, because the new Supergiant and Black Swan cards came out, and they are the horizontal format. They're the first box set that had it without the update. And so I think basically everything before Black Swan and Supergiant is eventually just going to get reboxed with the new stuff. And that's what the affiliation boxes basically are.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess we'll see if that's the case going forward.
I really like the affiliation boxes. Those are cool.
Yeah, it's really clever for new players. I wish they had given us some heads up coming down the pipeline. That way maybe some stores that stock the product wouldn't have overstock of the older kits, because they commonly go out of print. So that's kind of annoying. But whatever. Jeremy, you played some games fairly recently, is this correct?
Yes, I did.
We haven't talked about your list yet, or did we?
No, I don't think we did, but
it wasn't
that exciting.
We did some recaps of some Wolverine last week, so I didn't know if you played anything since then.
Yeah, it was X-Men, and I pulled those models out, and I put in models that are better, and I played a list that didn't feel completely handicapped. So yeah,
but Jeremy, there are no models better than Wolverine.
I blacked out for a second, and I didn't hear what you were saying.
Parker, what have you been playing?
I sat down in the think tank and I've been staring at Shield. So I'm trying to decide now, do I want to play Shield with what I have right now really hard and take that to the big tournament in July, or if I should get back on the Shadowlands Daredevil and see what can beat it and then play against that before July. That's basically what I'm trying to figure out right now.
Okay.
But I'm gonna play Shield with this new version. What I did to change, if you're curious, Secret Tech, is after playing them a bunch, I think what they do well is they're behind like by 2 to 3 victory points for the first 2 rounds, and then they start winning in attrition. And because they're behind 2 or 3 victory points, they're actually not behind, because while they're behind, you daze guys and then they come back up. So basically what I was doing before is I was trying to play guys that were going to do really well with the objectives, but Fury by himself does so well with that. And then like Scarlet Witch does really well with that as well, and she also gains victory points, another way to like catch back up. So they're all about a weird kind of rope-it-up mechanic where they let your opponent take an early game advantage, but while they are spending actions to do things like take objectives, you are using all your actions on attrition. So I took out some of my objective-based models and I put in 2 completely non-objective guys that are really good at attrition. So I put in Honey Badger and Nebula instead of a 4-pointer. So I took out Vision, and I had 2 more slots left over, and so the last one's going to be X-23, just to see if there's ever a point in which I want to take X-23 instead of one of my usual shield 3-pointers. I also took out the initiative card because I wasn't finding it really made a use. I never really had a reason to do it. I still really like MODOK in the list, so I keep keeping MODOK. But I don't think initiative actually works, and so I replaced that with the exceptional healing if I ever put X-23 and Honey Badger down at the same time. So basically the idea is you turn Nebula and Honey Badger and Nebula into 4 victory points over the course of the game, because they might die early, and because your opponent usually wants to focus them because they are such great attrition pieces, but you turn those into victory points for yourself. And if they don't focus them, then you are going to go up on attrition, because they're both really efficient for their cost, attrition models. And that's what you want. You want to be winning in attrition around turn 4, and then you close the game out, because they could not capitalize on the fact that you are giving attrition up, because you are because the leadership ability is keeping you in the game with victory points. So I'm gonna see how that works.
It's interesting you said that, because this last week I decided to get 2 hours of sleep, wake up at 5:30 in the morning, and drive to Springfield to play some games.
Yeah, you did.
I only semi-regretted this decision. Around 10 a.m. I stopped regretting it, and we had breakfast and went to the game store in Springfield, which is Metagames Unlimited. I played my first game of the day. It was against Brandon Morris, who was playing Shield. And I've been thinking about this problem because I hate grunts. I think they're overpowered, and every character that has a grunt is very annoying. And so I've been theorizing the strategy to play against Shield specifically because Aaron has been worried about it. And so my plan was to just not worry that and let them take the points on turn 1 because they're going to get the free points anyway. And so you should not bend your over backwards trying to stop them from getting points because they're going to get the free ones if you do if you do take them. So you're just accelerating the game. I want to slow the game down. And so I basically am trying to let them take the points and then punish them for doing so. So anyway, I played against Brandon. The game did not start well. I played Convocation for the second time. I'm playing Wizards now, by the way.
Wizards.
Yeah, so I moved up Doctor Strange into cover on the opposite side of the spaceport terrain and kind of ended the turn. And then Hawkeye activated on top of 2 and just decided that Doctor Strange needed to die. And so he rolled 11 hits on 10 dice and he fell down. And that was really sad. I had books up and I just died. like I was like very sad. It wasn't even close. I took 4 damage from each attack.
Oh my gosh.
So I only had 4 models, and so that kind of threw the whole turn into like cattywampus. However, I had a secret weapon, and my opponent was not prepared for it. So Wong on the far side was fighting Bucky with 2 hammers, and Nick Fury himself, and the shield grunts. He was doing quite well. He had taken the extract from one of the shield grunts and had not yet died.
What?
So he's doing quite well. And then he died. So it was a very short-lived victory, but he was doing good stuff. On the far side, I put Clea in my list because like, well, if I don't play Clea now, I'll probably just never play with her, and I want to know what it's like to play Clea. So I played her every turn of the game. She rolled on the cube and placed somebody, and that was all she did. It was very exciting. She always placed the same character every turn. And then I had Blade, and Blade was doing his job, which was stand on my point and kill anything that contests it. He did that very well. The following turn, Strange wakes up and dazes he dazes Iron Man and War Machine. And Brandon's trying to do a good job of using Black Widow as a field dressing mechanic to try and get in there and get War Machine back up so he can unload into me. I can't remember what happened. I think I was able to place her away with Strange so that she couldn't easily get into the field dressing location she wanted. And then Hawkeye shot Doctor Strange again, and I clenched my butthole real tight. Because I was like, please don't randomly die. Because I'm 100% losing this game if he falls down. He took 2 damage from Hawkeye the second time around, and I immediately medpacked him with Clea. Because I was so nervous he was going to just get one-shotted. Then my opponent took a 14-8 lead at this point. Because the attrition was just not going my way. Obviously, I lost Strange's activation on turn 2, and then on the third turn, he basically just did what he was supposed to do on turn 2. However, my opponent realized that my sleeper character who had yet to do anything, Doc Voodoo, was set up for the ultimate play, and he got placed by Clea for the 4th consecutive turn, and then double moved and hit Bucky with the possession, who dropped both of his hammers. At which point, Doc Voodoo collects the 3rd and 4th hammer onto himself and wins me the game. Doc Voodoo single-handedly won that game, and Doc Voodoo should be banned from tournament play.
Hold on.
That character is so fucking broken.
You were down by how many?
It was 14-8.
So you're down by 6.
Yeah.
And how did getting the 2 more extra hammers?
So I killed Hawkeye, who had 2 hammers.
Okay, there you go. But when did you do that?
Strange did that. Strange and Blade did that. So Strange and Blade cleared out the whole left flank and contested the 2 points on that side. Clea activates, places Voodoo in range to pick up the 2 hammers. Voodoo activates, picks up both hammers, double moves, possesses Bucky, picks up both of his hammers.
Oh, shit.
So Voodoo
he had that much
then
power?
holding... Well, yeah, because he had done nothing the whole game but sit there and shoot people with his sap power attack.
Got it.
And so he spent the 3-7 power. It's only 7 power, Parker.
Yeah.
It's not even that much. It's stupid.
Geez,
the ability is not fucking balanced. So yeah, Voodoo got 4, Blade and Strange got 1 each, and then
There's 6 hammers on hammers.
no, there's 4. They were holding Secures, Parker. There's these things in the game called Secure token. Yeah. So, and then I ended up scoring exactly a 16 on that turn. I can't remember what the exact score was the turn before, but I got exactly the points I needed to land it right at 16. And so I leapfrogged him. He went to 15. I went to 16. And it was just like a complete wreck of a turn. The only point he got was Nick Fury killing Wong and standing on his corpse. But yeah, so the main takeaway here is that the only game I've ever played with Voodoo, he won the game single-handedly in a game I should have lost, and he needs to be banned. Anyway, next game I played was against an old guy I used to play in War Machine, Patrick. It was a super fun game. I hadn't seen him in forever. He played Brotherhood with Thanos, Magneto, and Juggernaut. This is a super weird game. That game was pretty boring, actually. Ebony Maw survived a bunch of first turn attacks when he went in with Thanos, because what I've noticed is Ebony Maw is amazing at going to get the middle point on the first turn because nobody has power to cancel his defense. And he has power to negate collisions. And so you can't throw at him, you can't throw him, and you can't get past his 6 defense dice. And so you just like stand him behind a piece of terrain, and he picks up the middle point, and you're like, this guy's fucking annoying. And he just is really hard to take down. So he tends to live the first turn, so he's a really good like central anchor point. The next turn you play Ironbound books, and so he's using his mystic or his energy anyway. And so he just tends to live for a really long time.
Did you like him? Did he get to?
Yeah, he was really fun. He's kind of dicey because he's basically, his big crowning achievement is he has big attack pools. And if you're not attacking the right kind of person, they're kind of meh. Because, we've talked about this before, there's like the Mystic Defenders. There's a bunch of characters like 5 and 6 Mystic Defense. If you get paired up with someone like that, he's terrible. Mm-hmm. But against anybody else, he's really good. Like, if you send the Hulk at him, you're like, okay, like, you're actually struggling to punch through me because you don't want to spend power really to attack him. And if it's on Ironbound Book's turn, you don't even have a choice. It's just weird. It's just, because he rolls such large dice pools, he's very swingy. Because he's rolling 6 dice defense and 6 or 8 dice on attack. He has no rerolls. So it's just really, really weird. Although his ability to actually move people around, I see why people have that can't be moved by mystic attack things. Getting to advance people as part of an attack is super not okay. It's super annoying.
Also, but he does have a big ass throw, like a long ass throw. That's pretty.
Yeah, he has the Magneto, or he's the cable throw, basically.
Yeah.
Up to size 4, throw long within 3. Which is really good. Like, he can pump damage into people, but he doesn't have an action economy. He's a solid 5-pointer, I think. He's not exceptional, but he's good.
What were you running him with the Space Stone also, so he can move himself?
No, I was not.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I need more expensive characters. I think I need more characters.
Okay.
I think Magic is a reach. I think she's really good, but the list doesn't need that slot, is what I'm finding out. If I need that slot, it's very rarely do I need an affiliated character, so I can just put in Hood, and Hood synergizes better, I think. I was really trying to get the Journey Through Limbo to work, and I can't get it to line up. It never seems like the right option, because if she's activating, it's never the right time to play it, is what I've been noticing. It might just be weird games.
Yeah, every single time I've seen it, I've been like, okay, now what?
Yeah, and it's because people just don't fight her, and I don't know if that's like the people I'm playing are trying to actively avoid her. She doesn't get to just brawl with people, so she never has enough power to like place herself and then journey through limbo and then do some other stuff. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just need some more reps with her. Clea seems better than expected because I did not appreciate her just looking at her card. She basically just seems like a 3-point, move your shit around tote. And she seems slightly better than that.
Why? What does she do that's better than that?
Just she has random tools that are actually surprisingly useful. And as a character that just holds a back flank, she can come into the game with a bunch of power and actually like seems to get some stuff done. Right. She has a throw. She can place her own people. If you play her very formulaic like you used to play Red Skull, I think she's not good. If you play her without relying on her place, I think she's okay. The problem is Mordo is fucking awesome. Like, Mordo is an amazing 3-pointer, and I underestimated him. I forgot how good he was when he came out.
Yeah, he's amazing.
4 energy defense on a medium base with a speed medium and flight is just an underrated platform in this game.
Yeah.
If there was more energy 4s that were medium base speed mediums, like, I would be playing them, because that is so impactful in a lot of missions.
Yeah.
He also has solid attacks. His ability to cancel pushes is huge. It's really impactful in a lot of missions.
Yes.
I like him a lot. He's really fun to play with.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Because I've been a big fan of him. Big fan of him in X-Men and X-Force. He feels great.
Yeah. So I played 4 games on the day. I played against Brandon playing Shield. I played against Patrick playing, quote, Brotherhood with Thanos. And then I played against Jason playing Guardians and Aaron playing Guardians. I only lost to Aaron playing Guardians, and I think the terrain and the missions we were playing was just like the worst for me. I think I should have had a game in that, but I think he was just always noticeably ahead, and I couldn't claw out of that hole. There wasn't anything I could have done, I think.
So can Convocation, now after you've played him now you got some reps in him, are they purely kind of like Web Warriors feel? They really need to be playing the scenario. That's how they win. They're not going to just stand and fight.
No,
or do they have a fight game?
Well, actually, I take it back. They are exactly like Web Warriors, not in any kind of functionality, but that they can do both. Like, Web Warriors can beat the shit out of you, or they can win on scenario. And so it's kind of, the way I've been playing them, it feels kind of like this razor's edge of both. And the problem was, they have a lot of board manipulating kit stuff that kind of gets oversold to me by the community sometimes. Like, oh, well, they can, like, move this guy, or they can place this, or they can, like, advance this guy. I was like, yeah, well, that's cool. And I just wanted to play murder bots, because I like murder bots, but they do this really good mix of both. And so the way I've been kind of playing them is you make plays on scenario, which forces your opponent to engage you, and then you punish them for it, is the way I've been playing it. Because they play like a tall Web Warriors, is the way I've been feeling it. They don't have as much board manipulation as Web Warriors do, but they have the hard-hitting, like, surprise turnaround hard-hitting that Web Warriors do, whereas, like, Venom can, like, do all these combo attacks and stuff, where, like, Miles can be like, oh, place, get this bonus, play this card, get this other bonus, so, like, boom, one-shot you. It's like, it feels like that. It feels like they make a lot of big dynamic moves, and I like that a lot.
Nice. I've always been excited to play them. Do they feel I guess one of the things, kind of what you just said, it feels like they're a kind of faction that will kind of sleep most of the game and be kind of unimpressive most of the game. And then all of a sudden you look at it and you go, wait a minute, this, I win. Like King Me. Like,
they don't feel sleepy like Web Warriors feel sleepy. Like, Web Warriors don't do anything until you force them to, in my opinion. Or at least the good Web Warriors. Like, they make you come to them, and then they fuck you up. Either by heavy board manipulation or by attrition. And Convocation is the, like, stick and move affiliation. They're constantly trying to make plays, and it's up to you to figure out how to minimize their ability to make plays against you.
Okay.
That's at least how they feel to me. I'm only 5 games in, so, like, I'm not an expert.
Yeah, I feel like when I played against Convocation, I needed to do something, or they were going to start wrecking me. Unlike Web Warriors, sometimes with Web Warriors, when I play them, like, I think if I just leave this model over here, I'll be fine. It's got to feel that way about Web Warriors.
So everyone worries about the get placed leadership ability. I have not used that one turn of one game. Every one of my 5 games has been every turn I'm getting rerolls.
Yeah.
I'm so addicted to the rerolls.
Yeah, the rerolls seem super duper good, and I think the get placed, there must be a reason to do it.
Get placed is so big, and I feel so bad for not abusing it, because I think it's a really strong ability. The problem is, like, I want to do this, like, force you into a play to try and get me to do something, and my list is already tall, so it leans into the rerolls are more potent, and the protection of not activating my mouse. I feel so much safer. It's a psychological thing. It's not true, but I feel so much safer, like, not activating my important model because I have a single die reroll on defense.
Yeah.
But it makes me feel safer than I would otherwise. But holy shit, like Doctor Strange is like king of rerolls. Sorcerer Supreme has infinite rerolls. If you told your opponent I'm allowed to roll until I have all hits, it's basically what he does. Because you can God, there's so many rerolls. You do the Plane of Poldock, that is reroll any number of your Mystic attack rolls.
Yeah.
Then you can use his Eye of Agamotto for the one full reroll. And then you have what's the other one? There's another one that I'm forgetting that's like reroll any number. Oh, it's Blade. That's right.
Yeah.
Blade goes in, has Plane of Poldock, gets any number of rerolls. If they're bleeding on Night of the Dampier, any number of rerolls. And if they don't have an activated token, also another reroll. And it's like, oh my god, it's like a 7-die attack with infinite rerolls. It's just like, take 8.
Well, it feels kind of like Sabretooth and Cabal, right? Like we're just... Here it comes.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing
because it is just Dark Rain. Like Plane of Poldock is just Dark Rain, except it's Mystic instead of Cabal.
And it's actually Mystic everybody in your team. It's not just Cabal.
Yes, it's not limited to your affiliation. It's just if you use Mystic Attack.
Now, I couldn't imagine a world where Scarlet Witch is needed in that faction, but could you imagine a world in which Scarlet Witch is needed in that faction?
I do not think she's needed. I think she'd be a very cute alternate to Ebony Maw.
Right.
Where you're just like, I need to kill you. It's like, yeah, he's dead. Like, congrats. You did it. Like, it's because you wouldn't even need Plane of Poldock. She just kills somebody for free every turn. So, but the problem is she's non-mobile and static, and she doesn't do anything dynamic. She just deletes people. I was like, I don't know that you need her for that, which is why I went with Blade instead. I think Blade is a really deep sleeper for Convocation, because I haven't seen anybody else do it, but man, he feels so good.
Yeah.
You also have a lot of people that can surprisingly apply Bleed.
Yeah.
Like, at least the list I built has a lot of things.
Mordo. Yeah, Mordo's there.
Yeah,
I think Mordo and him is a fantastic combo that just it sings in Convocation too. It just seems great.
The only problem I've run into is getting power on Blade, because I'm always so nervous that Blade's going to whiff on his builder and not get to do Night of the Dampier and back out. But every time I send him in, he fucking kills somebody, it feels like.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm having a lot of fun with Convocation, and I'll quit babbling now, but it was super fun.
I want you to know, I encourage the babble a bit because I have wanted to play Convocation for a long time. It's been sitting there calling my name for a long time, wondering. But every time I went to do it, I was like, yeah, but when... I put 6 models in the roster, maybe 7. I'd be like, and then what? I don't know what else to do.
No, I kept doing that same thing. Yeah. I would try and throw together like the Wizard Murder team, because that's what I want to do. I want to kill people. I was like, Wizard Murder team, go! And then like I'd get 7 or 8 characters in and go, oh, I have 2 affiliateds. Shit!
Yeah.
Like I don't know what. And I was like, I don't want to play any of these guys. I would just quit. And then me and Aaron on the way back from Omaha did some list building dojo in the car, and he really helped me come up with a list I like, and I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Cool.
Jeremy, I feel like you haven't been able to talk this episode.
Well, he had a lot to say about his X-Men list, he has.
That's true. Yeah, a lot to say about it.
No, I think that not enough people use Strange. I think he's really, really powerful and scary as fuck. And,
Sorcerer Supreme, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah, the other one is like super passive compared to the anger that Supreme has and can just tank you out. I know when I play against him, I try and get him off the table as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Because you can. He is killable.
If you get priority with Convocation and you've got like 6 to 8 power on Strange, you can kill anybody, it feels like.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, that guy's dead. Like, Plane of Poldock, you haven't activated yet. Strange is going to place himself within 3 and just unload into you at point blank. And it just feels like you die. Because he's generating like 6 hits and a pierce on almost every attack. Because he's getting the 1 full reroll plus crits, and then he's doing the second version of the dice pool with full reroll, with any rerolls, and then the extra normal leadership reroll on top of it. And it's just like, oh my god, so much damage.
Yeah, I was always shocked every time I play him about how much damage they can put out.
Yeah.
It's very quick, but like and I think what people do is when they go real aggressive and then they'll switch their leadership over, and then when you try and get a couple hits on them, you'll get one, but then they always step back on you. It's really tough to get a hold of them if you do it right.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely have not nailed that down on when to change the leadership over.
But that's good. It's cool you found a thing to play with that's interesting and different.
Mm-hmm. I tried. I have Juggernaut in the list because of the bullshit herbs play. I think though I played him in a game without herbs. I think he's just really there for herbs. I think the Juggernaut convocation is kind of just a gimmick. I really liked the concept of the like, oh, well, you make everything mystic so he can't be moved and like blah blah blah. Like it just doesn't matter. Like he's already unmovable. Like it doesn't matter. I can't think of a single matchup it changes anything. Because it still doesn't stop Iron Man. It only stops like the Mirror when they have a Juggernaut also. Like that's the only time it matters. Oh, I also didn't put field dressing in the roster because I assumed that it was getting banned with the rotation coming up that we're expecting. Mm-hmm. So I've been playing without field dressing for the last 5 games, and it is frustrating. I'll tell you, it's only frustrating when my opponent has field dressing. I actually don't find I crucially miss it if my opponent also does not have it.
I agree.
But when my opponent has it, it just feels so unfair.
Yeah. I go without it every so many games, and I've tried to wean myself from it for a long time, whether it's just I would rather have different card, or...
You've done a much better job than I have of doing that.
Yeah, but I mean, also I wasn't winning games in such a way that I should have. Like, no, it's very true. Like, the goddamn card it's a problem.
So powerful, yeah.
But it was also kind of fun to be like, I have all damage cards. How about all rerolls? You know, like, that's a thing. Yeah. But, okay, so then you just field dress a guy I killed. I'm like, God damn it!
Yeah, it's also weird, because I thought the Convocation Leadership took up one of your 5 tactic slots, and then Aaron pointed out that it doesn't. It's just like, if it's in your roster, you can use it. And so, having effectively 6 tactics, well, one of them's a leadership ability, but getting your 5 tactics and then your other one makes it very easy to choose your squad cards, because you're only dropping 4 of your 10. And so it feels very easy, even though they effectively have 9 tactic slots instead of 10, which is why it works that way. But it feels easier to make choices, especially without field dressing like in the 10, because it feels like you have 5 slots and then a leadership instead of 4 slots and then a leadership.
Are you running single affiliation then?
Yeah, I'm only playing Convocation. I don't know that you can actually get away with dual Convocation. Maybe if you're doing like Black Order or something, but
wouldn't it be defenders, because there's so many defender models in Convocation?
Yeah, but I don't play any of the good defenders in my roster.
Oh, I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying you could.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I could go through the roster. Did I talk about this last time?
I don't think you actually did.
No, you never said it. You just said you workshopped it, and you mentioned a lot of the characters, but.
So yeah, the list is Sorcerer Supreme, Juggernaut, Ebony Maw, Doc Voodoo, Blade, Mordo, Clea, Magic, Hood, and Wong. So I've got 3 5s, 2 4s, 4 3s, and a 2. And I find myself taking Wong so often. Like I'm stapling him to Doctor Strange in like every game, it feels like.
Is he useful?
That I love him. Like he makes impactful plays every game.
Really?
Yeah, because they're so defensive. Like you're playing such elite models in a lot of the games that they defend surprisingly well, especially with Ironbound books in play. So his heal 2 is very relevant.
Yeah.
Also, his ability to hand off power, again, super relevant.
Right.
He is a 3 energy, and he's only a 2 physical. So he's really good on the pay to flips because he can give himself power. And so like first turn he can like walk onto a point, power up, and then spend to flip. And the next turn he's up to 2 power, and he can check both points. And so he's really good about that if you just worry about the pay to flips. He's good at picking up extracts and just holding them for you in the back. He heals people. He removes negative effects. He can on turn 1 hand a power to Strange and turn on Scalpel on the first turn, which is really dirty pool on missions like Gamma, because then Strange can like double move and place somebody. And so he does some really crazy stuff.
Every time I've ever played with him, he felt fantastic. Yeah. But I've always played.
I remember when he first came out, we're like, this is the best 2. Like, he's far and away the best 2 because he's a perfect support model.
Yeah.
But then, like, the game changed, but now, like, the Wizards affiliation is just, like, the game that he wants to play. He wants to play, like, make the tall models work better, and that's exactly what he does.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. I felt like he was really good in Steve Avengers because I was playing, like, tall Steve. But, and they're another faction that lasts long enough for him to heal them and give them power and stuff. But it seems really strong because you do it in faction. That's cool.
So, I'm thinking about cutting Magic for another 2-pointer, or just another 3-pointer, because I play Wong so often that it feels like it forces me into not playing 4s or playing exactly the number of 4s. So, like at 18 points, my list is, Strange, Mordo, Wong, and then Voodoo and Blade because I only have 2 4s. And so it seems very formulaic because Mordo is my best 3-pointer outside of like a severe need for like Clea's place or, you know, Hood's attrition work or something. Oh, not to mention, like, if somebody's hurt, like let's say you have Juggernaut has some damage on him, you can use Hood to heal him and then use Wong to remove the bleed or to heal him another 2. It's really funny. Having 2 models that heal other models is really nice, Parker.
Oh, I believe you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I don't know who I would cut. And then my tactics cards are Bar with No Doors, Plane of Poldock, Ironbound Books of Shuma Garath, Do You Know Who I Am, Shush, Hood's Gang, Journey Through Limbo, Brace, Medpack, and Indomitable. And my Crisis cards are Infinity Formula, Deadly Meteors, Demons Downtown, Alien Ship, Worthy, and Mystic Wakandan Herbs. And Herbs is only there because you get the, like, I basically win for free because Juggernaut's in there. And it costs you very little, surprisingly. I'm not running the full gimmick because I don't have tactical analysis in my list.
Yeah, I was going to say you don't have tactical analysis.
Yeah, I'm not doing that hard in the gimmick. If it happens and it lines up, whatever. I'm not going to waste a tactic slot in my roster for it. Especially knowing that it's supposed to be banned already. Because, like, COVID is the only reason tactical analysis is still a legal card in this game. So
also, if you do that one, you want to make sure you switch your leadership over to the move. Because that's something that happened to me as well. You're like, oh, he's got it, and he's there. And you're like, I'm going to try and kill him. Nope.
I just places
further.
Again, and you're like, oh my God.
Mother of God.
Yeah, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. Yeah, you literally get punished for trying to stop them. That happened in top 8 at Omaha. Is Alex, the guy from one of the Omaha locals, played against Peyton in the top 8, and literally just flipped over the herbs. He's like, "Sorry, I win the game." It's like, and literally didn't get to interact with him at all. And it's like, ugh, like, it's so dumb. At least, if they don't have access to tactical analysis, they can't do it on the first turn without some really weird jank. But yeah, I'll be happy when that shit's gone.
Do you need? Can't you do it with Clea?
You can get him there, but it requires Juggernaut to not go first, which gives your opponent some counterplay, which is why the tactical analysis plan is there. Because if you don't do that, you could just do advanced R&D.
Yeah.
And first turn advanced R&D a power to Juggernaut. Then he could go double move, pick up the thing, push himself backwards, and then Strange activates and scalpels him. And so basically what ends up happening is Juggernaut ends up going like as the third activation because you use Wong or Clea to advanced R&D, probably Wong. So Wong would double meditate, play advanced R&D, give a power to Strange, Juggernaut, and pick another character. It doesn't really matter. And then
I think that's what happened to me.
Juggernaut goes second. Yeah, because it's if you don't have priority, they get a small chance to try and like do something, but they can't block all the space. They can just limit the angles at which he can push himself.
It happened to me.
Unless
Juggernaut
there's
went second. So
yeah.
Either way, whatever. It's really dumb. I mean, we all agree.
Yeah.
It's real dumb.
But yeah, so Juggernaut can double move, pick it up, and depending on where they put their model, push himself towards the other objective, and then Strange activates, places him 3, Clea activates, places him 2. But yeah, it's pretty lame.
Hooray. Yeah, it's like, hooray.
Yay.
It's dead. Alrighty. We're good on time. Do you guys have anything else you want to chat about before we wrap it up?
So
I'm
July
excited.
we have
Go ahead.
the Show Me Showdown, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do a tournament. I think it's July 2nd. I haven't posted it yet. Yeah, it's going to be July 2nd. So I imagine we'll have a low turnout because of the holiday. But it'll basically be a practice for Show Me. And then Show Me will be the following Friday. I imagined this was a better plan than doing a tournament at Show Me on Friday that ends at like 10 or 11 p.m. and then doing a tournament the next morning at 11 at the Geekery.
Oh,
it would be very weird.
Pass.
Yeah, exactly. So we're just going to have it be on July 2nd, and I imagine not many people will show up. However, July 4th, Independence Day, tends to be a evening holiday. And so I imagine there are people that could show up if they weren't like preoccupied planning and organizing their own like holiday event.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Parker, despite living 3.5 seconds from the game store, will probably be like, I have to like put out the paper plates for the cookout, and like so I can't make it or something like that.
I'll be in Salina.
Yeah, see, exactly.
Putting out paper plates.
Yeah, I gotta set the table. I can't come to the tournament. I'm like, do that later. He's like, I can't. Yeah.
I'll be in Salina.
Yeah, see, he's making up shit now.
Every time there's a holiday, I won't be at my house. The only times I've ever been at my house during a holiday was the COVID times. That was it.
I was gonna say, just tell them you have COVID.
That
and
will
COVID
not work.
we'll make an acronym that's like crisis on this day or whatever. Like we'll figure it out, and
there is no them. There's only one. Her.
There's only one what? Yeah.
Yeah, there's only one person that I need to trick, and she is untrickable, so I'm not going to try.
She's
I don't know,
untrickable.
we could go pretty deep and like pretend you actually have COVID. We'll just say you're staying at my place.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's gonna work, Parker.
Oh, there's no way this fails. There's no way.
Infallible plan here, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
but I was gonna...
you said...
Go ahead. I was going to go ahead then. I was actually going to mention Show Me Showdown, and I was going to say I feel like it's crunch time. I feel like I got to do two things. I got to get some things painted, a few things painted, not a lot, but a few things painted, and I want to like lock this down so I can actually play my lists a bunch of times. I really like was it 2 tournaments ago? I went to the tournament already having played the list like 6 times. That felt really good.
Whoa.
Well, I mean, don't get too excited. It's only a 3-round tournament happening like at night.
I mean, we could do a pseudo 4th round. Speaking of Parker, did you buy a ticket?
To Vegas?
No, to Show Me.
I think so.
You might want to confirm that because they have 1 ticket last I checked.
I am 99.9% sure. How would I check that?
It's like the perfect situation here. Do you both say, I haven't bought a ticket yet? I'm like, fuck.
Parker has it.
Only one
Parker's got his spot. I've got my spot. Yeah.
Okay.
It's in there.
Oh, am I listed somewhere?
Yeah, you signed up for it.
Okay,
you didn't have to buy it yet. You just sign up.
That's right. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Or you might have bought it. I don't know.
Yeah, you have to buy the ticket is how you get signed up.
Our name's on there, regardless.
I actually haven't. I had the ticket for Vegas in my cart, and then the fucking thing sold out, and so I didn't get to buy it. So I'm on their like notification list.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no, it's very annoying.
Man.
I forgot to process my cart. It was sitting in my cart. I sent Parker a screenshot of my shopping cart ready to go, and I just forgot to process it and close my laptop, and I went home and forgot about it.
So
and
wait,
then I found out.
for this is for Vegas?
Yeah, Vegas.
So I'm a little confused. You're not. Okay. What did I miss? I feel like I missed something.
I didn't buy my ticket.
Oh, just not yet. Okay.
Yeah. No, they're sold out.
Vegas.
They
is
sold out in like 4 days. Yeah.
You're shitting.
Remember,
me.
I was like, make sure you buy your ticket,
No,
Parker.
it happened
I forgot
last
to
year.
process. Parker, did you also not buy your ticket?
I also didn't buy my ticket.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
It's just going to be me and Aaron. That's it.
No, I plan on winning a qualifier and getting a free ticket.
Oh, okay. Good job. Okay.
It's a tenuous plan.
I mean, that's a plan. I mean, we can
It
go
is
to
a plan.
enough.
Yeah. So I've set up for the text message notification if they free up more space or if people cancel. So if I get a text, I'll call you, Parker. Or you can go on there and be a responsible human and set up your own reminder.
I cannot believe that. I actually thought about that the other day. I was like, man, I really need to do that. This is what happens.
I should have just fucking did it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is.
I was
what
like, I
happens.
was like working when it got announced, and so I was like, oh, I'll do that later. Like, I set up my cart, and then a customer came in. I got distracted, and then I totally forgot about it until I was leaving at the end of the night. I didn't look at my laptop. I just closed it, and then like 3 days later, it was like, yeah, Vegas sold out. I'm like, fuck. Like,
yeah, I was somewhere else. I can only do it on my phone. Can't remember what it was.
So anyway, speaking of Parker, you have here in your currently playing Prep for the Next Big Tourney. When is that?
I thought it was Show Me Showdown, but
oh, okay. Show Me's not a big tournament. It's just a tournament. The next big tournament is Arkansas on July 23rd, which I have a ticket and room space for. Jeremy, do you want to go to Arkansas for the melee at Shiloh?
My plane will be flying back from Disney World,
Disney?
so no, sir.
Just land in Arkansas. What's
That's
the problem?
true. I could. No.
Did you talk to John? John just got back from Arkansas, and Brent Simon just got back from Disneyland.
I'm like Arkansas.
He took
and
the family to Arkansas. Things will
Arkansas
never
and
be
Disney
the same.
Is identical.
I mean, there's giant rats. Same thing.
Yeah, I've talked to a bunch of people that have actually gone, so it's still there.
Mm-hmm. Parker, you look actually visibly upset.
I am so mad.
Remember this happened last year? We didn't get to go.
Yeah.
I think we're early enough this year that we'll get to go. I'll call him and say, hey, you have to let us go.
So then Omaha is the 30th.
Yes. I plan on going to that as well. That actually sounds like it might be a smaller one, and so if you want to get qualified, that might be a good way to do it.
I'm thinking I can make that one.
Okay. I will put a note in the event tab on our Discord channel, and you can have a spot in my vehicle if you want.
Okay. Yeah, I should be able to make those.
This is not podcast content. I don't know why we're still talking about this.
Go fuck yourself, that's why. Speaking of, Parker, I have a question for you.
What's that?
What is the best thing about living in Switzerland?
I don't know.
Well, personally, the flag is a big plus.
I only have happy thoughts about that. I really like that one a lot.
Now I'll tell you the racist one. Oh, wait, we have to stop recording.
Yeah, don't tell me the racist one. We need to wrap up. We haven't even said goodbye.
It's not even
yet.
racist. It's not even racist. It just uses ethnicity to be funny. I wouldn't say it on the podcast anyway. I don't think it's offensive. I plan to be vindicated as soon as we stop recording.
Okay.
All right. Speaking of, let's go ahead and wrap this up.
Tune in next time, everyone. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll tell it next time
if
if
it was
Parker
racist.
approves. Yeah. So hopefully you guys had a good time. This has been Brandon.
Dr. Mandisbach and MD.
And Jeremy.
And you have just listened to The Gang Fights in World War II.
So what are we going to call this thing?
I got it. Okay. Incredible, new, fantastic, astonishing, mighty, original, uncanny, sensational podcast.
I'm just gonna put down Infamous.
And stop. Wait. No.
No.
All right. We did it. Episode in the can.
Boom.
We
We're
recorded
done.
it in the can.
9
so
left.
that it's
9
in
left
the
before the big
Yeah, I
binge.
know, right?
The bingey.
I wanted to talk to you guys about what you want to do for episode 100.
I say we
'cause
go
it's
to, I say live
basically-
from Vegas.
Live from Vegas?
Yeah.
So it just comes out horribly out of order.
Yeah.
When do you think Vegas is? It's not in July.
It's not in
Heads up.
July. I think we should do that. I think we should make episode 99 and then 101 and then make episode 100 just that one. I don't think that'll be confusing at all.
So we are supposed to record episode 100 on August 17th. Yeah,
Cool.
there's fucking nothing going on that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was thinking about trying to do like a collaboration episode and
Mm-hmm.
get like some other people from the community to come on, and we could do like interviews and stuff and do like an amalgamation episode.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool.
Or we could just do like a round table drink fest where like we play like Truth or Dare on the podcast. What do you think? Not so
No,
much.
no, that doesn't seem
no.
cool.
It doesn't seem cool at all.
No.
I'm not down.
Not down. What's the opposite of down? I'm
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, I can't think of anything amazing about Truth or Dare with you guys. That really sounds dumb. No, but that would be cool. Give some people a couple weeks or whatever to. Okay, you want to do it? Like, get set up. Like, can you do it? You know.
Yeah, exactly. And we could even record them in advance, and then we could just edit it all together for episode 100. We don't have to like do it live. We don't do this live. Like the three of us are live recording it. We're not just sending a script back and forth. But we could do each individual segment separately if we wanted.
Each episode takes months, and then you have to sew it together.
Yeah.
And we've
It's
actually
months and months, but they're happening, like concurrently. So
Uh-huh.
it's like months and months of work in like all happening at the same time.
it's
So basically,
it's
19
incredible.
months go into every week. Yeah, like it's pretty intense.
It's like learning about animation. They're like 10,000 frames takes 1 minute. You're like, what? Who does
Yeah.
that?
It's like technically, we probably could have made the scene of just the camera panning around a landscape 1 frame, but instead we tried to do the 60 frames a second for a 10-minute pan, and so it's like 600,000 frames or whatever.
It's all right. We have
terrible.
unlimited money and time. It's fine.
Yeah, the main thing we have is unlimited funding. That's
Unlimited
the thing we
funding.
have. Yeah,
Our coffers are overfilled.
yeah.
hmm
We are $2,500 flush.
Way in the black. So black.
Those kitten mittens caught fire.
Exactly. We're looking for some kind of P. Diddy-esque shrimping vessel. Oh boy.
So Parker, I went and saw it.
Yeah.
It
Did
was
it top your
excellent.
gun?
It was excellent.
I'm glad.
So
you thought
good.
So. I'm glad you thought so.
Here's the thing. So I was telling people, I'm like, hey, I'm going to go see this movie.
Mhm.
So people were saying, yeah, my friend went and saw it. And this is like several people. My friend went and saw it, and it's very like America. Yeah, America, blah, 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 America. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, and they're like, yeah, it just doesn't care. Like, it's not really like this whole like woke thing that all movies are anymore. Blah. I'm like, that's kind of weird. Like, I don't know, but okay. And I go and see it, and I'm like, it's like a fucking hero redemption movie. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck are they talking about?
I don't know.
like-
I think it's just the internet. I think. Yeah, I've seen that too. Just like I'm so tired of American pro war movie. I'm like it's really just about it's really just about Maverick. The movie doesn't try to be anything else. It's really just about that character from Top Gun that you remember. It's really just about him. I don't think the movie's about anything else except Maverick.
No.
This is exactly why I do not listen to fucking anybody about movie reviews.
Yeah.
Like, nobody is correct. Everyone's a dumbass when it comes to movie reviews. They're like, oh, this was the best movie ever. I'm like, this movie was complete trash. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the word you used to describe it is on point though. It is excellent. It is an excellent movie. I've seen a lot of like Tom Cruise action movies, and this I think is not close the best one as a movie. It's just a really good movie.
There's no way this
astounded.
is better than Tropic Thunder.
Oh, that's a really good movie. You're right. But that movie was trying to accomplish something totally different, right? This movie is actually trying to be a movie. That movie was trying to make you piss yourself laughing, and it just succeeds.
It did, yeah. I love that movie. It's so funny.
Yeah.
It's rare anymore, like, going to see a movie. Like, I was talking to my girlfriend about it, and we're walking out, and I'm like, it's so nice to just go see a movie, be excited about it from start to finish, and just be happy about it.
Yep.
Like, I was happy the whole time. I'm like, this is like, it's great. Like, it was never like, God damn it, get past this makeout scene. Like, there really wasn't one. Like, there wasn't any dumb, extra, stupid-ass 1990s sex scenes. None of that bullshit. Like, it was just badass the whole time. You're like, cool, awesome.
Isn't it? It was an excellent. One of the things, actually, speaking of the romance, the camera and I felt like the only thing about this, my brother, the only thing that we felt that was, not necessary really for Maverick to go ahead and have the movie being about him was the love interest. However, the one thing I do like about it is, speaking specifically of your scene, they do have like a lovemaking scene, but it's very, very fast. Like it's not sexualized at all.
Oh,
and
it's like, wait, did they just speed up the frame?
No. It's just a very, it's almost like just kind of an offhanded thing. Like, yes, they may have made love moving forward, and that's kind of how the movie mentions it. But the best part is then two like 50-plus-year-old people just sit in their room and talk about something troubling them. I was like, what a mature ass relationship. Like, this is not the hyper-sexualized relationship that I'm used to seeing in, these kind, in action movies in general. It's actually not hot and steamy at all. In fact, it's just kind of warm and comforting. It's just like a really healthy couple dealing with things. It's like that relationship. And there's some off camera. The reason why my brother and I thought it was the weakest part is there was just a lot of off camera stuff that you're just supposed to assume about the relationship. You don't see it really grow at all, and you're just kind of supposed to assume it's growing in the background because the movie's not really about that. And so that was the only part of the movie that I think wasn't done as great a justice as everything else was, because everything else seemed so earned and excellent. And that one was the only one that was just kind of like, and assume in between Maverick scenes that he's dating this girl, because we're not actually going to show you any of the dates. But
I think it added only like some clever quips from here, like like they said funny things from time to time, or it just was like he was able to have some cute callbacks with like conversations that they're having. The whole idea, I think there was so much of it that was like paying all of the fans of Top Gun like nods all the time. They're like, okay, here's his interest. Okay, cool, got that part. All right, they're gonna play a game. They're going to play a sport, and half people have shirts off. Okay, cool. We got that part. All right, we've got a need for speed. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Great Balls of Fire, got it. Like, certain things that were just like, okay, we got those parts done. All right, now go with badass story. Forward.
Yeah. Yeah. When I got done, I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but I felt like this movie did what Episode 7 could not or did not do, which is pay like respect to all those things you loved about the original, but not dwell on them and make that the whole movie. This was a new movie with a new plot, a new device, using characters that you cared about. And that's what made it feel so good to me, is I was just like, wow, this is a brand new movie. I'm not watching Top Gun again. I'm watching the characters from Top Gun that I cared about. And like you said, there's some devices they throw in there that are nostalgic for sure. But the movie is 100% about a new problem Maverick has to deal with and how he must grow as a character to overcome those problems. And that was great. I loved watching it.
So my children went and saw a different movie this weekend. They went and saw Jurassic Park.
Oh, really?
From what I understand is hot dog shit.
It fucking bad reviews. I heard that.
Oh,
Which I have not been on board since all the remakes or anything. Like, I liked kinda, sorta, like, the first reboot of the thing. Not even reboot, whatever you want to call it. Like, what, Jurassic Park New World or whatever the fuck it is. Like, I thought that was okay. Like, it was okay, where everyone's screaming and like, yeah, it's awesome. And then the second one, I was like, nope, I'm out. And then this one, I was like, okay, they're bringing everyone back. Maybe. Oh man, my kids were even like, it's pretty good. I mean, but they're like, that was the best movie we ever saw. I'm like, that's terrible.
Yeah, I think I think I said that before. I think what was that 2 or 3 podcasts ago? I think I mentioned that. I love that movie so much, and I want this to be excellent, but I know it'll just be hot trash, and I really.
We're talking about Jurassic Park World. 7
the whatever it is called. Is it called the? I don't remember.
It's called the New Dinosaur Movie. Yeah, I got
New Dinosaur Movie. Chomp, chomp.
I told you, like the reason. Dominion. Dominion is the name of it. The reason why it excited me is I was like, okay, it's actually going through the thing that Ian Malcolm said in the first movie, which is if we release this Pandora out of this box and we can't get it back in, what does it actually do? Do we tip the ecosystem of the entire planet by playing God? And what an awesome idea! I was like, when I saw the premise, I was like, what do you mean they're not going to do, action heroes go to a dinosaur island again? It's going to be a movie about the world. I was like, that is really cool, and it's probably going to be just a dumpster fire. And
I mean, based on the trailer I saw, the entire movie is about finding the baby raptor, and I'm like, nope. Like, I've seen fucking The Land Before Time. No thanks.
Yeah, it's going to be. And I think it's I don't want to blame an actor or a writer, or I don't know what it. My guess, if I had to guess, I'd like to know more about it. But if I had to guess, it's probably the same thing that ruins most movies, which is, Hollywood executives who are interested in making a buck, just really turning the screws and pushing the buttons, and people who know better.
I know
don't get
better
to do
than
what
the
they
professional artists.
Right. And so people who know better aren't allowed to do better. That happens a lot. Yeah. That happens
the investing executive producer goes, "Hey, my daughter had an idea for the script," and you go, "That's cool," and he goes, "No, you're putting it in." And you're like, "Oh shit."
I don't know. Anyway,
yeah.
We can talk
I'm
about stuff
glad
now.
you liked Top Gun Maverick 2, the remavericking. I'll probably see it eventually.
I'm sorry, Brandon, but I think you'll actually like it a lot.
I believe that I would like it. Yeah. I'm not complaining that the movie is bad. I have not seen the original Top Gun, and I'm not planning on going to see the sequel until I've seen the original.
Well, the original is on Netflix right now. So
I know.
Oh,
it's like very far down my watch list. I haven't even watched season 4 of Stranger Things yet.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a good one.
Yeah.
I haven't watched any Stranger Things. I feel like one day I'm going to.
Exactly my point. Like I think you would really enjoy Stranger Things, and I think you could probably watch it with Sarah, and I think she'd like it too.
One of my favorite movies of all time was functionally what Stranger Things is, and it's got a really simple name. It's the. Oh no! Okay, I'm just going to look up.
What is it about?
I'm just going to tell Google what it is, and then
give me Google a vague description. I bet you I can get it. I think he's talking about Adventures in Babysitting, but I'm not sure.
It definitely is a Liz Shue movie.
It's very, very similar. It's a very similar concept to like Goonies meets sci-fi, right? Like that trope that's very common that Stranger Things is based on. That era of childhood, and that it's always children meet some sci-fi problem, right? E.T. was the very first take at it, and then there's a modern version of it, but I'm just making me really mad.
Modern version of E.T.
More or less, yeah, but it's more of a horror take because E.T. is very not horror, right? But this is But Stranger Things and
I mean, E.T. is kind of scary for a kid at this like nowadays, but back then it was like whatever. Like, we let our kids watch Friday the 13th. No big deal.
I'm afraid that Stranger Things is going to... there's going to be a polar bear, and no one's going to explain it.
Yeah.
I'm like getting very worried about that. And I'm gonna get fucking
had
mad.
assumed that season 3 was the end of it, but apparently it was just a big COVID pause. Obviously, eventually it has to end, right? Like, it can't just... Oh. No, that couldn't have been what he was talking about.
It has a really simple name. Like, it has like a number in it. Like Real 8 or something like that. It's like
Super 8.
Super 8. There you go.
Super 8. That's what I say. Just give me anything, and I can tell you what it was.
Super 8. Well done.
I'm really good about guessing things with small hints.
Yeah, because Super 8 is the kind of movie reel that they were using.
Yeah, it's the film. It's Cloverfield, but with children.
Oh, no, it isn't. No, it isn't.
It literally.
No, it is not at all.
It literally is Cloverfield.
That is not anything like Cloverfield.
I've never seen Cloverfield, but I'm assuming it's basically
I've seen all three of the Cloverfield movies, and no, it's not Cloverfield.
I've only seen the one with John Goodman, which was very enjoyable.
Yeah,
I like that one a lot.
All three of them were actually fun horror movies to watch. They were not bad. The first one, I think, was the weakest one. But
I'll watch just about anything with John Goodman in it.
Yeah.
Including Community.
Answer.
Yeah.
Is he in Community?
Yes,
he's in Community.
He's the AC.
He plays the head of the HVAC department.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He's fucking hilarious. He's like the fucking Men in Black like manager. He's like this very like, corporate espionage kind of guy.
Oh, he
runs
fantastic.
the college from behind the shadows.
Because the only college that actually turns a profit is the HVAC. The heating and air conditioning. Also when he dies and the successor, they have to do a repair off, and the heating in the booth, it gets hotter and hotter, and
to determine who's going to be the new head of the HVAC department. Yeah. They lock two people in a phone booth, in separate phone booths, and they put them there's like heat lamps on the outside, right?
And there's two air conditioners
breaking 120 degrees, and you have to fix your air conditioner to not die first, basically, or you can quit. And so they put you in there, and you've got these little window unit air conditioners that you have to try and fix. And whoever can stay in their box the longest wins.
Wow.
And so he's in there against Troy, the guy who's played by Donald Glover's character.
Yeah. And Troy is like a savant.
Yeah, he's never taken a class, but he could repair any HVAC equipment in his sleep.
Yeah.
It's really funny. He's just like, you just turn the whole thing upside down and squeeze this bolt, and they're like, it works again. You're like, what? That's not how things work.
Yeah. I keep
thinking I'll love that show, and I keep watching like half of an episode.
Oh,
and,
it's so
fading
good.
Off. I don't know.
It's so good. It's a lot like Parks and Rec. You have to know the characters before it gets funny.
Yeah.
So you have to get through like 5 episodes. And also, it definitely hits a stride after a while. Also,
the room temperature room.
Yeah, the room temperature room.
So they go into a room that's got green walls, and he goes, yeah, you ever heard of room temperature? He goes, yeah,
he's like,
it's this room.
Is the room. And then he walks into the room, he's like, I can't feel my skin. So funny.
The room is exactly
room
temperature.
It was created by Dan Harmon, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Same. It was like one of his very first major projects. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Dean Pelton, the dean of the university, is one of the best characters in all television history.
This better not awaken anything in me.
Yeah.
When he's watching that video.
Yeah.
And for the rest of the show, he's a freak.
Yeah. Yeah, Dean Pelton.
So
yeah, Dean Pelton is everything. Every time he walks in with a different costume, I crack up laughing. I cannot handle he has so many throwaway lines. Many throwaway lines.
Yeah. I
watched a supercut of him. It's like 25 minutes long, and it's nothing but little throwaway lines.
One-liners, yeah.
And how could you fill up that much of a show with throwaway lines? It's because that's his whole character, but man, it's fucking hilarious.
The Unity episode of Rick and Morty, because it's also written by Dan Harmon, the episode where he's like, or the scene where he's like, all right, make a TV show only for me. He's like, all right, now cancel it. All right, now put it back on again. Now cancel it again. He's like, all right, I'm done. That was, and then it pans to the TV, and the animated characters on the animated television are the characters from Community, sitting around their study table.
Yeah. So the joke there is Dan Harmon was picked up for the first 4 seasons, and then he was fired from the show. The show kept going for like a season and a half, and then they rehired him. So he did like the first 4 seasons.
Well, the show got canceled too, and then Netflix picked it up and did the final episode or final season.
So it's like, but what's weird is that the show had Dan Harmon for the first 4 seasons, and then loses him for a whole season, and the last season he comes for like the last half of it. It's really strange because I mean they make fun of him, and he makes fun of himself in the writing a lot, which is he's just a very dysfunctional person, and he's very cognizant of how dysfunctional he is, but it just wrecks things. The very final moments of the show, like the entire thing, is just Dan's like letter to the people who've been watching, and it's just him recognizing how incredibly dysfunctional he is. It's wonderful. Jeremy, have you played anything recently? I was going to put something in playing currently, but I don't really
running. Elden Ring, the show.
Elden Ring, the show.
Several games. Have I played? What did I do recently?
Nothing. Oh, you went and you went to the tournament that I didn't go to.
I didn't.
Yeah, we talked. We already did that. We talked about that last cast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just played a couple games.
I haven't played a game. I haven't played a game since that tournament. Have you played anything, Jeremy?
Yeah, I played X-Men. I played 2 games last week. I took out the dead models and put in models that were actually good, so it worked out.
I prefer only playing with models that are dead.
Well, that's what my tournament experience was like. That was one way to do it. Sure.
All right. I got a really good dad joke that is semi-inappropriate. It's not really inappropriate, but there is some ethnic/racial
Don't do it.
Influence on
Don't
it.
do it. Do not burn this podcast for a joke.
I don't think it's actually offensive, but at first, Parker, because I was still talking, I thought you were saying "do it," and so I was like, "Oh, I guess if Parker's in, I'm like, I guess we can do it." But
no,
just do not burn this. That your grandmother used to say all
He's
the
like,
time.
I've dug myself out of 1,000 probationary episodes just to see the show end. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
It's fine. My grandpa says it.
My grandpa said, you give that real slow shoulder look. Oh man, it's still up here. It's still getting upvoted. I like this joke. I'll tell you guys after the podcast. I bet you'll think it's harmless.
Okay.
I'll just do it now. All right, so...
I don't know why this made me laugh so much.
What?
Oh, so it's a bunch.
You cut out. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, sorry. It's the name of this the name of this article is just a bunch of posts dunking on the Jurassic World Dominion that made us laugh. Mm-hmm. Some of these are making me cry. Still thinking about how I went into Jurassic Park Dominion expecting a shitty movie about dinosaurs, and instead just got a shitty movie about locusts. Because there's locusts in the movie. They made Laura Dern say, "He slid into my DMs. That's how bad the new Jurassic World movie is." Surely they could save a lot of money by just putting Jurassic Park 1 back in theaters every 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, that's true.
They probably could.
Here's a review. Tom Cruise would have used real dinosaurs. Have you ever wanted a band to get back together and one day they did and you saw them live but it was actually sad? Like one of them can't sing anymore, another clearly didn't want to be there. You question why you wanted this. Anyway, I just saw Jurassic World Dominion. Okay. This is the best part of the movie. At one point, a kid in front of me got so bored he started doing a handstand in his seat, which would normally be annoying, but in this case was the most entertaining part of the entire experience. I think the funniest line in Jurassic World Dominion is when Sam Neill sees BD Wong and says, without the slightest trace of emotion in his voice, "I remember you." What a moment for the fans! A reunion with some random scientist who showed him an egg 29 years ago. Ugh.
Boy, there's a lot of dicey jokes on here today. I think I'm good. I got enough.
Okay, you did it.
Yeah, I got enough to keep Jeremy entertained.
Thank God for that.
Are you guys good?
Sure.
Let me... Oh man, we've got so much news it rolled over to the next page. Ooh, here we go. All right, so the joke is...
But wait, hold on. You're telling it on the post ramble? I thought the point was we cannot alienate our audience.
I was just fucking with you.
Okay, good.
I feel like Parker's actually concerned now.
Oh yeah.
I really don't want to lose this podcast because...
Oh no, we've already lost. I checked the numbers. We tanked hard. Let's see. Nope, this actually looks slightly up. Whatever. Anyway, I don't know. We just did all of our post ramble stuff. Oh, I guess next week we'll talk about the tournament document. So yeah, do your guys' homework this time and read through the document.
I actually read through it before we went on.
Oh, I don't know if I talked to you guys about this. I know I've talked to you personally, but we didn't talk about it on the podcast, I don't think. Team tournaments. I'm going to start running team tournaments in Kansas City. And I think once we get like the movement going of the metas, I think we'll actually have a pretty big draw for them. Because we're perfectly situated, because we have the Springfield meta, the St. Louis meta, the Omaha meta, the Des Moines meta, the Arkansas meta, Tulsa, Topeka, all within 4 hours of Kansas City. So we're all within a 1-day drive. And then like Mike DeLuca and the Colorado guys said that they would come out for it. So I think we would actually have like 12 teams of 3 if we did a team tournament. We planned it far enough out. So I'm pretty excited.
I'm not going to be excited about anything until
you get a ticket for LVO?
Yeah, I am so upset.
Just buy one on eBay.
I am so mad at myself. I was on the website 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
I could have just hit it 3 different times.
I know, right? Isn't it annoying? Jeremy, how much for your ticket? I'll buy your ticket. You don't want to go alone anyway.
He's totally going by himself. Well, I guess Aaron's going. He's going with Aaron.
Me and Aaron are going. Like, he was like, tickets are on sale. We need to get them. I was like, okay, yep. They sold it last time. Click. Done. You jackasses.
You responsible bastard being able to click checkout.
Jesus.
I clicked checkout like 3 times too. I know I did. I was like, let me go back and read the event details. And then I got distracted.
I know
anyway.
I know what it was. One time I didn't have my card on me. One time, and here's the other thing. I can't just say anything, because if I told Sarah I'd already paid for it, it would have been hell to pay. So it's like,
yeah, you were like, let me go at least tell her I'm considering buying a ticket to Vegas.
Yeah, and she was like very, she's very supportive, and I should have just immediately turned around right then and been like, cool, click. Instead, I I did
No take
something
specs. Like, click the button.
No, I remember what I said. I said I'll talk to you guys, and then like 2 days passed before we cast it, and that's when I talked to you about it. And then you both like, no, it's the thing. You should do it. But we were casting, so I didn't do it. And that was it. That was the last time I looked at it.
I'm also looking at upgrading my camera that I record battle reports with. So just heads up, guys, if our listeners at home don't know, I have a YouTube channel, Infamous MCP, on YouTube's. I have now uploaded about 100 or so battle reports. I think I'm a little over 100 now. Here, let me check. Channel. Videos. We have 87 subscribers. Your videos. How many do I have? Just tell me. Damn it. Why don't you just tell me how many videos I have? I have a lot of videos. Also, a lot of likes. People like my videos. But yeah, you guys check them out. I'm looking at upgrading my camera to a 4K camera, so they look even better. I have a pretty old camera right now. It's like 12 years old, and so I think there's better stuff in my price range now.
Well, there is a good news to this whole Vegas story. I am definitely going to Adepticon. That's the good news. Is I will be attending Adepticon this year.
Maybe.
Because that shit don't sell out.
That's true. Adepticon doesn't sell out.
All right, can we wrap this up?
Nope. I'm trying to
Please.
drag it at this point. I'm really
Please.
enjoying you being frustrated.
Yeah, I'm losing too.
I'm just about to
All right.
click it off and then fucking.
All
be
right,
done.
here we go. Ready?